Hi, I'm Chris Vangelis. I'm streaming and hosting, for the very first time, a retro news dive. Hopefully my mic is on. It is. So hello and welcome to all of you. Hello to all of our early birds. Oma Enderlong was here. Simeon Scott, Adamus Prime, Axsmith, Sideswipe Prime, Tonbot, Switcheruby, Sam Wellbell. Welcome. It's the year 2006, and I've just invented this new medium called streaming. I've also invented this amazing new medium called Fugitech, because right up there you can see Aaron is here with me, Aaron Axsmith from the year 2006.
Hi, how you doing? Been a bit.
Doing pretty good. I was just saying to Aaron, you know what we didn't have back in 2006? Major wind events. And
Yeah.
I was like, that's pretty funny to say given like the proximity to Hurricane Katrina, I believe.
Yeah. When was Katrina was earlier than that.
Was that earlier? Was that 04 or 3? There was a BotCon. There was a BotCon when we had a whole bunch of
2005.
Okay, I was only off. by a year.
Yeah, because we had a news story that was like, "Hey, we know Katrina was a big thing."
Yeah,
Be with you.
that's right. Well, it was the BotCon when we had like the plague of locusts blown in by the hurricane that I always remember. Where was your dang... Which one of these is your dang text title? Is this it? Oh, here we go.
I don't know.
Hang on.
I'm
My
here,
OBS
not
is...
there.
My OBS is a mess of layers. There. Also,
Yeah,
my OBS
you
moved
did a
and
lot.
resized everything when I turned it on, and I was like, why now? Why now?
Well, you looked away from it for a moment, and then it got jealous.
Like, the chat windows were all shrunken to be 2 lines tall, and I'm like, look, I'm not in that VTuber realm yet where you see, like, the top line for half a second.
Well, you see, you disconnected some accessory for 3 seconds, and so it's decided that it needed to reset everything by default for you because it's just that good.
You know what? The only thing I can think of, right? And this is relevant. Is good old. I finally installed that monitor you brought me 2 years ago that I lost track of immediately due to my mom's medical stuff. And that monitor has a max resolution of 1080, which is fine because I just put text over there. And I think resizing the chat window on that monitor, my OBS is on the fancy modern monitor.
Mm-hmm.
So even though it's full screen over there, over here OBS is like, oh, it's 2 lines tall. Don't worry, I'll fix that. And
Okay.
I'm like, brother, it shouldn't be 2 lines because 1080 is still only, it's like a quarter of the 4000 or whatever that mine is tall.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Yeah, I get a little bit of that fun when I have to host or share my screen on Teams because we connect through VDI. So I'm looking at a browser window that's running a virtual computer that then it like keeps stepping things down and then it tries to auto readjust things and it becomes a whole thing sometimes. Where
Yeah.
like I have to have everything at like 82% is full screen, not 100% because reasons.
You didn't say Zoom, but you said something relevant that made me remember Zoom. I got an email where Zoom was like, happy 15th birthday to Zoom, and I'm like, it's not 2035 yet. I forgot it was around before 2020.
Yeah.
Although, speaking of which, I started finally writing one of my Armada toy review scripts, and I opened mentioning I'm talking about a retro Transformers toy line from over 20 years ago, so I'm having my fun. The other version of it is when I refer to these Armada toys as, I don't know how I feel about these brand new weird Transformers. Because I still see people on Facebook groups every now and then say that, and I'm broad stroke brushing and hyperbolizing here, because whatever, we can be mean to Facebook groups. But you know what I mean. You encounter someone in the 2020s who looks at Armada and is like, I don't know how I feel about these new Transformers, and you're like, did you know these are older than G1 was when these came out?
Oh. Okay.
And with that little shock to the senses, let me give you all one more shock. The coupon code, Crangulux. I haven't announced this on YouTube yet because I genuinely don't know if anyone will notice me doing a post about it, but I'm going to sometime this week. Crangulux here is the code for June at toyhacks.com. Using the code does support the channel and feed the machine. Crangulux is also, for the time being, the last Toy Hacks coupon code, as Toy Hacks is moving to a more basic sponsorship setup, and they're not doing coupon codes after this month. So if you really have been, like, camping and waiting for your perfect moment to slap a coupon code onto, like, 1 million sticker sets, you should do that this month, because the codes will not exist next month, to my knowledge. Bear in mind, this is what I am understanding. If it ends up being wrong, then hey. But I figured I should give you all a heads up. I don't know if anyone who is going to be hearing this does that level of coupon strategizing, but it occurred to me that someone in July is going to be like, I was waiting for the July one, because I needed one more day, and, you know, should let you all know. That then brings us to the news. Aaron, I forgot actually what the last thing we talked about was.
It was, I fired off the link. I think we were just across the page was talking about the wave assortments for the classics line.
Oh, okay.
And I think that this is into, I think it was maybe the 15th.
Okay.
It was the 14th or the 15th that was in here. So
I
somewhere in here, and it's been a bit. So.
I vaguely recall this bottom item about the Binaltech status. I think that we talked about that last time, because this was sort of the nail in the coffin on Binaltech news for a while. But we can reiterate from here. This was Ichikawa-san saying, as far as my work is concerned, I sent the background info and story for Binaltech Jinrai on October 14th, 2005. Around early December, I was informed, owing to changes in circumstances, it appears we will be unable to use your text as submitted. I believe that Jinrai never came out. That's probably the reason. So this was what I remember as kind of the tapering off of Binaltech for a bit until the asterisk stuff popped up, and then, you know, that pivoted into Kiss Play, which is what the katakana says. I know it says players on the bottom, but we don't do this Amerikansky whatever they put on the bottom. It says Kisu Pure on the katakana. So you got to be a real fan. Yeah, Aaron, I think we were hitting all these like end of Binaltech news items, so I can't quite recall.
Yeah.
Oh, did Jinrai eventually come out? I thought that was like a kind of mush that turned into like
I don't
Binaltech Convoy.
I'd have to go look because I want to say that it was a big thing because like it got rolled into Kiss Play.
Yeah, because there was Kiss Play Convoy, and then I feel like there was a die-cast inclusion Binaltech Convoy at some point, because that was a separate mold. And I remember the die-cast version coming out was a big deal because we all were like, oh, it does exist. But I thought that the name Jinrai never ended up getting applied to that. That's where I will leave that up to the team to figure that out, because we also got movie news. The casting director and director of photography have been hired, and Don Murphy is not telling us who. Oh, I'll let you know once their deals are done. I'll let you know who once their deals are done. Suffice to say, this is a great thing. Even though, for some reason, we don't have the full green light, hiring people makes it clear that the green is coming.
Which, again, is crazy because this is like a year and change before the movie's release.
Yeah. Yeah, they made that thing, fast. I just feel like something like that movie, it's wild, because that movie is like one of the nicest. I think it probably is the one that held up visually the best, because it's the least orange and has the deepest shadows and the most like cinematography as far as like quality of color balance and everything. It feels like they made it really fast. I think it's supposed to be a comin', as I don't remember any song that has the word in it now, but there's some song that's like da 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 a comin'. I don't know, it's American Railroad something. Hey Aaron, big news. Star Wars Transformers Wave 2 is surfacing now. Even got a little picture here.
I think I handled somebody's Maul. I don't remember handling a Boba Fett.
I always wanted to get the Boba Fett until I was told not to, but I think I had them all. I can't remember anymore. I had like 4 or 5 of these.
The crazy spinning disc in the like
yeah.
the display as well.
Because the spinning disc wasn't even just a disc, it was a cardboard disc in its own blister pack wedged into the bubble, is what I remember. This is horrifying landfill generator of packaging.
And it probably cost like, can I see? It's like $19 or something.
You can read that? Dang. This is, for those who haven't seen one of these before, this is something, once we got photos again, the way people would prove that they bought a toy is they would take a photograph of the receipt in the distance with the toys as the focus, such that sometimes, the receipt was kind of, what was the point of this?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
it was because without the receipt, it very well could have been some eBay purchase or some
I guess
nonsense.
Just the receipt is such potato mush. It's like, that could be anything.
Yeah.
$20 less expensive than a modern deluxe. I mean, yeah. Well, the thing about the year 2006, which is literally 20 years ago, is that one can really also start engaging with the conversation of inflation amidst other things. Because inflation is not its own alone thing, I think, in this conversation. There's also just the question of, like, the lack of wages going up, will costs go up, which I guess is, like, a tangential component of inflation, but I feel like inflation is supposed to be more all-encompassing about the value of the dollar changing over time. And, money's fake!
Just a concept.
Yep.
But it'd be a whole lot easier with money than to say, hey, hello, Mr. Grocer Man, do you have videos you need edited? Because I can do that.
You see, I have a 2006 dollar bill, and so I ran it through the science machine that can tell how much it's worth now by measuring the number of layers on the inside. Yeah, just search for Transformers inflation. I feel like we're hitting all the notes here. I feel like
getting the low-hanging bits out the way early.
Just get all those comedy genitals out of the way so we can get through this jungle. ReproLabels.com relaunched with a new design. They've got new products. This is when new ReproLabels products include Reproduction Labels 4. Monstructor, Backstreet, Victory Leo, Star Convoy, Neo Classics. And by the way, Neo Classic! Thank you! And whatever upgrade set number 4 was.
Well, it was the set that came after number 3.
Ah, thank you. Yeah. So that was another inflation, right? Like, it's hard to remember how those numbers add up. We've got Entertainment Earth images of Star Wars Transformers Wave 3, featuring Jango Fett, and I do have that Palpatine. That Emperor Palpatine is one of the real Garbo ones. Because you see how it looks like the giant wing things are just transforming and stuff? If I recall correctly, they don't even have the good courtesy to do that. It's like they all kind of half fall apart. The top one...
I mean, that was... I feel like that statement was just like 3/4 of the Star Wars Transformers line. They all just kind of fall apart.
Yeah. Which is a shame, because like, I always will go on about it. There are a couple standouts in that line that are worth tracking down. Commander Cody and Yoda. Very standout. Transformers Infiltration number 4 from the brand new comic series. They're showing some pencils for this. I wonder if these ever got high-res scanned somewhere. Because it's kind of neat seeing EJ Sue art before you get the coloration in. Robot Lorekeeper, I'm glad Wave preview stuff now is usually better than here are stock photos mooshed into a single JPEG. Oh, we had it real good at one point. In recent memory, when we had aquarium sand, and they were paying an artistic photographer. Commander Cody apparently did not hold up. I just remember at the time, if you get a case fresh, time-traveled Commander Cody, it's like, wow, this is better than Anakin Skywalker. Got a Star Wars TF Grievous in a box somewhere. Scorp, I think that one was one of the ones that was, like, okay, but...
Weren't there 2 Grievouses?
There were
like
2 Grievouses.
The one that was the spinny thing, and that one was interesting because of what it was, but not great. And
there was the wheel and then the spaceship, and the wheel was Wave 1. Yeah. Oma Ender, I would have had a fight with you on a message board in 2006, probably, because I still did that back then. Because I remember thinking that toy was cool. I don't remember any reason why, because that was 20 years ago, and I bought toys since then. So leave 2006 me alone. He's scrappy. I think that's still when I was multi-quoting people. It's the ship, not the wheel. His knees are very bad. I remember... No, I'm not going to get into this tangent. I was about to say, wasn't the ship like a partial of the Jedi Starfighter? It doesn't matter. I was a Cody defender back then, because also I had no idea... I think it's also because his name was Cody, and I thought that was funny. I can't tell you why. This is what I recall. Wave 2 of the 10th anniversary of Beast Wars is on the club store. Beast Wars Reborn. I have that set. This was the really comically wide box with the 2 Ultras and I think it was a straight up jewel case in the middle.
No. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember the jewel case, but I like how lavish and overblown that is.
And that photo is just bad because it's I think it's like light colors on a CD, but it makes it just look like it's
CDR.
just some burnt CDR.
Yeah, it does look a lot like a CDR.
I don't know, give them the first episode or something on it. Just gotta make sure you're not burning coasters instead of good discs.
Yeah. Well, I mean, now I still haven't checked because I'm just too sad to do it, but I'm pretty sure every CDR I made probably disc rotted.
Oh yeah. I think CDR's lifespan was like 10 years.
I still see them kicking around some... Well, no, those are DVD-Rs. I actually saw some DVD-Rs out west at a very distant Staples, and I had a moment of like, oh, spindles. Sabertron has some images of the jungle map. This has to have been scanned by someone at this point, I would assume.
Oh, I'm sure.
If not, then wiki folks.
There's a low-res one for you. You're welcome.
Oh, where?
No, what you just had pulled up.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, I have like 15 windows open, so I need directions. Your CDs are fine. It's 2000. Thank you, Tomba. You're right. As long as you don't tell your burned CDRs how much time has passed, they will not succumb to the rot. You just have to roleplay. You have to make sure you dress era appropriate. By the way, this is a new T-shirt I got at the Ginger concert I saw. I'm very, very proud of it because they actually had a T-shirt I really, really wanted. And the Master Force UK DVD cover art. This is artwork by... The artwork is by Nick Roach, a fan artist turned pro, who did some comic covers for IDW.
Yeah,
it's so
some.
quaint. Some. This is cute though. I didn't remember that Nick Roach did this art. Waveside, you can still buy packs of blank CDRWs in Space Year 2026, new off the shelf at Walmart. I'm gonna put this out to the team and then move on, but can an unburned RW still rot? Or is it still fresh?
I don't know. I don't know what the timer is on that. I think it's just a general timer.
Yeah, I'm just like if it's still,
but like if
fresh.
you had it like in a dark temperature controlled space, it'd probably be a whole lot better than if it's been like sitting on a windowsill.
And then would it rapidly oxidize if you crack the seal?
Just goes.
Yeah, you flip it over and just see this giant patch. We've got some exclusive Toy Fair videos from our good buddy Elvin Pena.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. Toronto Transformers Con 2006, pre-registration online. The 20 years later, they still have pre-registration online, but for the 2026 show, FYI.
Yeah.
Hasbro
Cutting edge things only a small show could do is have online registration at this time frame.
Yes, right. Only a tiny show could. That was a talking point, wasn't it?
For a long time.
How come they can and how come BotCon can't, etc.
Look, what else are you going to do with all the church grandmas, if not pulling things out of a fax machine and miscopying names and then blaming it on people?
Mistake Boy, I accept your greetings and your salutations. They're very toasty. It's kind of warm today, but I can still use them. I have my AC on. Also got big news. Hasbro teams up with Real Networks to expand digital media. So I'm really hyped to see what Infogrames Entertainment does with Transformers, My Little Pony, Tonka, Magic the Gathering, Connect 4, Candyland, and Play School. I remember reading that specific list off at some point, so I think we're still on.
Magic the Gathering is still trying to get a show released in the year 2026.
Imagine
it's been a movie and then a show and then a movie again, and now it's going to be an animated thing, I think. I don't know.
Imagine if it's the same script they've been passing along since the Infogrames thing. If that thing has DNA going all the way back to, like, Real Networks. Devil's Due has their, the crossover. Is this the Serpent OR crossover? I think this is. Yeah. So there's classic Serpent OR. I liked that crossover, I remember, at the time. Once again, I couldn't give you a critical analysis of it now because I haven't read it since then, but I remember thinking it was cool because Cobra Law was in it. Takara to release the Beast Wars 10th Anniversary Primal and Megatron molds? They did eventually, I think. But at this point, these molds, I don't remember how many ways and in which directions they came out. But I believe this did happen. I somewhat assume it did happen. It was like whatever line the Axelon was in.
I agree with you with that up tilt at the end of the statement.
Once again, I passed that to the team. The thing I have noticed about these streams, especially as we're closing in on towards 2007, is every year exponentially more folks in the text chat. It'll be individuals who specifically remember one thing among the many things that we can sort of remember. Axelon was part of United, right. That's much later.
And there's significantly less link rot, so people are able to get to it quicker than before when it was fighting through things and finding gig boards.
I still like telling people about the gig boards. That's one of those stories I'm going to be able to tell to social gatherings for probably another few years, and it's still fresh.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's a beautiful story. The gig board is eternal, and I hope everyone on there is safe. We got a review of Beast Wars Gathering #1. I was just recently looking at this artwork again. The an Ultimode version of Magmatron.
Mm-hmm.
Because there was this, and there was the one that's based on Dia Battles. We got receipted proof that lug nuts and scrap metal have been released in mid-February. Classic Cybertron packaging this. I always marvel at these shapes whenever I see, like, mint in sealed Cybertron stuff at, like, TFCon.
Yeah.
Wave sign, touring the old BotCon website still up somehow was a fun time. Yeah, no, that's one of those magic things from the more link-rotted era. In mid-February, the TFW 2005 Amazon sections. I don't remember this at all because that was American Amazon, so I didn't use it. Aaron, do you recall this at all?
I do not.
We know everyone and their mother has Amazon links. We hope this section is a bit... Oh!
This is like affiliates. Like it was it was like like, hey, here's all the Transformer stuff. And I want to say, yeah, like you could do styling stuff on it. So...
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an aggregator, not like... I thought for a sec this meant like TFW.
Like TFW had a store in it. It was acting as an aggregator. Because I don't know at what point in time Amazon started. Like you could have your stuff shipped to them to be shipped out, but as shipped through whatever, you know.
The warehousing and whatever.
The warehousing stuff, yeah. That don't buy game stuff on there anymore. I saw somebody where it was what was it? It was like they got a bunch of fake Spider-Man Magic the Gathering packs.
Why would you even?
It looked close to it, but then when like people started to like somebody had gotten a box of them and opened them up, and it was like very clearly bad proxies that had gotten into the supply chain. And I don't know why of all the sets it'd be Spider-Man.
There's layers to this.
Somebody trying to like jump the gun early on, like, oh, Final Fantasy was big.
So I was about to say, and then I caught myself. I realized, like, not every city has, there are rife with game stores. I was about to say the one Magic set that I'm sure a game store would sell you for cheaper than anything you could find on Amazon would be Spider-Man right now.
Yeah,
because game stores are drowning in Spider-Man.
Yeah. My LGS still has apparently a bunch of the Spider-Man pre-release kits. They haven't gotten the go-ahead to like clearance out. Like they could sell it for pre-release costs, but because it was a branded pre-release, it was more expensive than regular pre-releases. So they've got like 3 or 4 shipping boxes still full of them.
I have to do a brief aside. At one of the local stores here, one of the smaller ones, in their Discord, someone asked, hey, when's the Marvel pre-release? To which the store owner said, I assume nobody wanted one since nobody showed up for Spider-Man, LOL. Reply, and if there's at least 8 of you, maybe I'll order it. Because his Spider-Man pre-release was a disaster.
Yeah. At least the Marvel stuff looks like it's a full set, not Spider-Man.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
Not like Spider-Man was, but that's again.
We also got some hot, fresh news from 2006. Age of the Prime's Voyager swindle on Amazon in that freshly opened Amazon section. For those who haven't seen this before, this is the modern Sites automated Amazon ad placement stuff that always interjects while we're retro news diving. So just ignore these. For roleplay purposes, just like take all the line names off and just stick in like Cybertron. I'm sure a bunch of these.
Megazeric was a thing in this time that people were kind of talking about how
exactly.
Nuts it was.
There
how
was
that
a
thing got released.
Wasn't there a swindle name slap in Cybertron? Or is it Energon?
In one of them there was.
And hey, Unicron tank. That was that was of the era. So there you go.
That was a decent little toy, as memory serves.
Yeah, that was one of the many things I didn't get to do when I was out west a couple weeks ago. Was dig out that figure. It got busy. We got new alternators listings in Walmart computers. So this is when we were seeing listings for. Oh yeah, here we go. Of note is the new Mustang listing. At this time, it's unknown if this is a re-release of Grimlock Wheeljack or a new remold or repaint. I think it was neither new repaint nor remold, if I recall correctly. There's also confirmation of a Honda Civic, that was unveiled at Toy Fair UK, and a re-release of Meister. Which one was the Honda Civic? Oh, Rumble. Right. The
Rumble, yeah.
That was the. It ended up being the end of the line, because I don't think the Ravage is on here. Unless
Ravage came out.
No, the quadruped Ravage.
Yeah, that came out. Yeah, it's not on this list.
Yeah, because
that Ravage was the last one.
That one, I thought that one like shipped with Rumble, at least as I remember it.
Those assortments were always weird too, because it'd be like oddly filled cases, and then you'd find an earlier case after a much later case.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I also was right, apparently. It sounds like Swindle was a repaint of Hardtop, who I forgot was a Cybertron toy. I just remember the really vomitous shade that the Swindle in question had. Because I remember thinking, like, this is too cold for Swindle, and that makes it look kind of like puke. Is Robo Flea Market 98 your eBay page? I can confirm it is not. The year 1998 has no relevance to me whatsoever. Nor do I run a Robo Flea Market. Oh, damn, Michael Bay talks more Transformers. Military in action. Here we go. Talks about using military voice actors, etc. The prep for the movie is going well. The military looks like it's going to support the film, which is a big deal in giving the movie scope and credibility. What a weird sentence. The Pentagon.
This credible movie about giant transforming robots in modern-day America.
The Pentagon has always been great with me because I make our military look good. What a sentence to read again in 2026.
Yeah.
All the posts and talk about the original voices, could we just let it rest for a while? I heard everyone. I'm thinking about it. We're reinventing how the robots look, transform, and move. Remember, these are the most realistic Transformers you will have ever seen. They have to fit completely into the human world to make this live-action film credible, along with the approval of the U.S. government. I have shown the animatics and some of the hundreds of drawings to the most religious of fans. To this day, we don't know who they are. They tell me they are mind-blowing.
They had some Catholics. They had some Hindus.
Yeah.
There's one Sikh guy in there, so, they didn't care about Transformers, but they were very religious people.
They said that these were, quote, mind-blowing and, quote, take it to a level they never considered. Whatever that means. I guess that's good. Time will tell. Believe me, I respect the fans. But I just want you to give me a chance because I'm working with some really talented artists to create this vision. But it is a vision that allows for growth, change, improvement, and surprises. Looking back at the history of Transformers, remember, there has been tons of change and improvements over the years. I'm working on third act action. It comes out in a year! And if you could, what would you imagine for great robot action? Talk to you soon. All the best, Michael. Aaron, your point about how close... he just said he's working on the third act action sequences.
Yep.
And,
Yep.
whoa! That's the one where they built a building in small to crash miniatures through it. They did that fast, I guess.
Well, they had the backing of the military making it credible.
That's true. That's true. If the military didn't back it, that would have just looked like miniatures going through a tiny building. But thank goodness it's a credible film. Sinenuva. Michael Bay is such a fascinating man to me because when it comes to military weirdo people, he hasn't stuck his head in any weird alt-right stuff. He just really wants to film tanks and jets. Kinda, but he also made like a recruitment thing for the Trump admin, so he kind of stepped over a line recently, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's weird. If Michael Bay were to walk up to me and say, "What do you think of me?" I'd say, like, well, for one, you're weird. For two, you should try just being a DP, because I think you'd have more fun. But I always will hold on to that with Michael Bay. I want to see the timeline where he simply was like a very aggressive director of photography, and he found directors that could, like, put him in a control box. And I'm curious what those films would have looked like with a bit more like focus. But then we wouldn't have had like the weird like sweaty excesses that he did make, and it is interesting those exist. Also, February 17, 2006 is the final date on the headstone of Soundwave as a helicopter. Soundwave is not a helicopter in the Transformers movie. In fact, Soundwave is not even in the Transformers movie. Comes from Roberto Orci. Joe! On the Don Murphy boards. So let speculation begin anew about Soundwave's alt mode. How much time did we waste on that, Aaron?
Yeah. Well, again, this is still some of that I don't necessarily want to say knee jerk, but that, in our, going back 2 years or so when this was first talked about, how many times we were told this is G1, this is the G1 you remember.
Yeah.
So, like, if you're naming 3 Decepticons, it's, Megatron, Starscream, and Soundwave, because Soundwave has his cassettes and that's the cool toys that everybody had. What's a Blackout?
Yeah. Well, it's
Blackout.
It's a Micromaster, if I recall correctly.
Scene. Like, yeah, it's that sort of thing that that other certain people had spent so long feeding into the fervor that this is going to be exactly G1 as you know it.
Yeah.
And that's all, again, always my point with these when we come around to why people aren't necessarily fond of the 2007 movie that were there during this time was a completely different build-up for us.
Because this basically is a headline that, if I recall the way our brains worked back then, said, don't worry, even though Soundwave is in the movie, no helicopter is in the movie. And then very specifically, the opposite is true.
Right.
First four what is this? First four figures. Is this are they the ones who did the little Magnus with the draw? That looks fake and like it never came out.
It's a 3D render. At least it's not AI. Oh.
Yeah, that's right. We didn't have the technology
to. A lot of modern day gripes apparently sitting here burbling.
Once upon a time, vaporware was honest. Someone modeled that.
You had to work hard to make your vaporware.
They got the insignia color wrong, but a human did that. No helicopters will be in this Michael Bay movie, especially not at sunset. That's right. I didn't even know Michael Bay tropes back then. I'd seen The Rock, but I didn't know the director had a name because I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah. Especially amazing at how quickly that movie got made, because every shot is at sunset for golden hour. Like, you got an hour a day. It's in the name. Golden hour. After that, wow, we got a break cut. All right, come back in 22 hours, guys.
Is use every golden hour. Shattered glass didn't exist yet, is the thing, y'all. Shattered glass didn't exist till 2008. So this is just wrong. But I'm gonna hazard to guess that the first four figures G1 Scourge statue never actually came out, Because first 4 figures, I don't think ended up delivering anything. Yeah, it's whole glass. Playing the long game. President's Day, new arrivals and pre-order, 25% off President's Day sale. Do they even do that anymore on Big Bad? It's this Big Bad do sales anymore?
No, I think they do.
Okay.
Like they're not ever like crazy.
Galaxy Force Sonic Bomber on deep discount for $26.
That
I
first
remember.
4 figures is unreleased.
Okay. I also remember Reverse Convoy being that cheap. This is back orders for $15 for Reverse Convoy. I think I got given my Reverse Convoy by Colin. It was like at some like pre-TFCon or post-TFCon thing.
That was one of those that was probably available in mass buyouts like Battle Unicorn.
I would assume so. I remember Reverse Convoy was not the world's hottest item when it was new, which always bummed me out because I thought that the idea was cute. First Shattered Glass was BotCon 2008. So 2-point-something years from this point in the timeline. The 5 keys, 5... I don't want to look at that thing. That's 5 keys, 5 sites is impossible to track in the year 2026. Got new pictures of THS G1 Convoy, specifically the robot mode. Don't look back there. Just look at this. Galaxy Force Primus back... Oh, I remember this was a big deal. Is the Galaxy Force version of Primus had this big, fun art piece on the back of the box.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe this was the one that doesn't disintegrate. It's the one Creator Primus in the G1-looking packaging that has some form of crumble plastic. I was reading recently.
Really?
Yeah, and it's in the arms, so if you ever move his shoulders, they'll just explode because they're all stuffed with ratchets. That's what I there was the actual... It's in the TF Wiki article. I was looking at something because, what was it? Unite Warriors Motormaster. I was catching up on what parts of him disintegrate. Galaxy Force Primus potentially relevant in space year 2020. Yeah, because there's the what are they going to HasLab next topic. People were insisting because of the packaging it was a new G1 toy. I vaguely recall this discourse. Yeah, Shattered Glass was exclusively BotCon and it debuted in 2008. There's like kind of waves of knowledge of Shattered Glass where it was just a BotCon thing and now it is specifically not a BotCon, or it was specifically not a BotCon thing, but now... Is one of the YOLO parks supposed to be Shattered Glass? I can't recall.
I think that they've done... And then that's the weird stuff for the last couple of years, where the YOLO Park stuff is officially licensed, and they got them to do... Oh, shoot, what was it?
Well, they did the Safety Megatron. I mean, for the coming up one, they got the Safety Megatron, and they've got this 2-pack with... Sideburn and Menasor. And I thought maybe the Menasor was supposed to be... I don't know.
Merch, maybe...
There is Shattered Glass and Blockies.
So, it's Glyph and Sound Blaster that were 2025
right.
exclusives. 2024's BotCon exclusives were character cups.
Oh no, we're just we're in the world going forward now. I see a dumb Jake. Yeah, those are my words, Jake. Have you manifested my damn package yet, Jake? I asked a friendly group of people, hey, can you all just manifest my package leaves the warehouse? And Jake says, no. And you know what's not left at the warehouse for like a week? The package. This is Jake's fault. Anyway, yeah, I thought there was a Shattered Glass thingy in one of their YOLO Park things, but I might have just been making some assumptions.
There might have been. I'm just looking at their webpage right now, and that might just be the items that are still up for sale.
Every time I try to remember something they're doing, I remember that somebody decided to rename a card bot Med Alert, and I want to like take someone and just sit them down and give them a hug and go like, stop. Because like you can only do that for Tobot, because Tobot ripped off Cybertron Evac. So for Tobot, you get one. But otherwise, you gotta calm down. You calm down a little bit. Anyway, we got some hot, fresh Transformers movie news in the year 2006. Don Murphy. What was it before Med Alert? Mega Ambler. Which is a lot more fun to say, I think. But they both have decent mouthfeel. But you can't overcome the mouthfeel of Ambler. Because you can really, like, try it. Aaron, give it a try. Ambler.
Ambler.
Isn't it
Ambler.
fun?
Yeah, there's, like, the nice, like, blah.
Yeah.
That kind of plosive in the middle of it.
It's got a blue. Ambler. You can really... which Tobot is Evac? It was, one of the further down the timeline bodies for Tobot W. I think it was Tobot Adventure W, maybe? It was quite literally Tobot just using the Evac transformation skeleton, but with more C-clips. Med Alert. Oh, dear. Anyway, Don Murphy says...
On TF, I hope to be able to tell you about our start date. I can't say it's looking like late May. I can tell you that Tom and I are excited. I can tell you that Michael and Ian are working hard as hell. I can tell you that Robert and Alex are pulling all-nighters. But I can't give you the exact date until the green light comes. It will come, maybe next week. What I will point out here for y'all is the project is at a crossroads. The smarter of you could tell things were happening behind the scenes when you read Michael's post on his site. Everyone has been informed by me of the one consensus in fandom. The original voices for Cullen and Welker. Everyone, including Michael, gets it, but not everyone supports it. If I believe the film should be tied, in general, to the original material, there is an equally vocal group within the production who believe that we should be restarting our own mythology. And that was what was in the past stays in the past, with the exception of a nod or two. The other side has strong, rational arguments for their points. In their point of view, the original characters don't even need to look like you remember them. Prime remains a truck, but a completely new truck. I don't know which point of view will prevail. That is Michael's call. The conclusion, either way, is coming soon. What I will say, though, is be patient. We are trying to make a huge worldwide box office success based on Transformers. I hope you'll like it no matter what. Your voice is coming through. You can tell that from Michael's post, too. We're nearing the finish line on the one hand and the start line on the other. It is the end of February 2006, and they are about to start. I'm gonna keep, ever since you pointed it out, I keep thinking
late
more
May,
about.
And it was what, 767 for the release.
Yeah.
So.
Does Murphy sound anything like this? No. We confirmed that when we found a clip of him from 2005. He sounds almost the opposite of my Don Murphy voice I've been doing, so I'm just leaning into it because I think it's it's funnier. No, Don Murphy is
for being the big producer. It's the most amount of weasel words of like, well, I want to do it, but you know there are other people. It's like, no, you're the producer and Bay's the director, and if he gets it and you get it, then you tell everyone else to pound sand.
And in case you did just join, we also just had the news down here that Soundwave, who's in the movie, is not a helicopter. So have a debate on what Soundwave's alt mode in the 2007 movie is. The upcoming 2007 movie that has no helicopter, but does have a Soundwave. Because the CGI held up the best on the first movie. It's like... I mean, I'm not going to say they took more time on the other ones. I think that, they hit that 2-year cycle, right? But still, it's...
Well, I think the biggest thing from the first movie is I feel like they did a better job of also knowing what the CGI could and couldn't do, kind of like, not to compare it to a great, but like Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Where, like, they were relatively like conservative with what they tried to do and framed things well enough so that if something wasn't the best, it wasn't front and center necessarily.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the CG is the best because lighting's the best. It was shot as if they were in there. I feel like the later movies, it was like, I don't know, we're gonna shoot the humans and then all of these robots from the shins down.
Progressively more distant.
Because we only got a tight on the human character. And whatever, we'll fix it in post.
I don't think we'll ever know, but I have sometimes wondered if the production of Revenge of the Fallen specifically, where they were just shooting without a script and figuring it out later, if that kind of just caused a cascade effect moving forward of like, we don't have to block so much for this. We can just...
and that one made money too?
Yeah,
whatever.
Why did we make a miniature building and crash two properly shaped objects through it at a high-speed camera when we could have just blown up a building and then stuffed things in after? The people wouldn't... Yeah, we'll never know. It's just a what do you call it? Not even a theory. It's just a curiosity of mine. Like, was there a cascade effect on the VFX delivery? What's good is at the end of February, we also finally got Cybertron Deluxe Wave 5 and Minicon 2-Pack Wave 2 in Canada. I forgot about the Minicon 2-Packs being waves. Infiltration issue number 1 is the number 30 comic in January. IDW's market share is up. That's really funny to look at after, like, all the talk at the tail end of IDW 2 was, like, just like, man, it's all falling apart. We're never getting to the top leaderboard again. It's like, Infiltration number 1, number 30 comic. We're doing good.
Man, the Asian series was so good.
That was really fun, like, at the time. That was a serialized 6-month experience that I think worked in serialization. What's up, Chris Muse? We got new G1 statue listings for Bludgeon, Swoop, and Jetfire. Who were these by? Doesn't even say who these are by. I assume none of these exist.
AFX. It's been a while since we've tried to... Yeah, the store is unavailable.
Well, the winners of the 5 Keys, 5 Sites contest got Guido Guidi sketches, which are the first ever sketches Guido ever did of Cybertron characters. You can see one of them here. That looks pretty good. Wish I could see the other ones. But they're gone forever. That reminds me, I should actually open up the Alterna chat. Just so I got it ready in case anyone has any reconnaissance.
Not as of yet.
I shall bring my Hydro Pisser. Thank you so much, Chris Muse. I can't wait to finally get my hands on a Hydro Pisser transformer. One of these days. Maybe I should... Hang on. I'm just gonna quickly carve this picture out. And I'm going to keep it aside so we can look at it later on and not have it get lost to time. Galaxy Force Volume 9, exclusive Chromia White version release. Okay, so this was Minerva Chromia. This was quite literally, we have one woman. What can we repaint her as? Quick, find the other woman. We already did pink. Hydro Pisser. Well, Chris Muse and I have a long thing going on where the Transformers Hydrobots, they were not in Canada, and Lai Diaclona scooped me and did a full video about how they peed themselves, and I was like, why did you do this to me? And Chris Muse said, don't worry, whenever they come out in Canada, I'll get you one. And they finally showed up on Amazon, but it's a third-party seller who was selling them for like $1 million, so I'm just going to get to look at someone else's P-bot, and that will sort of close the circle on it. Oh, no, I mean, granted, Lai Diaclone is not Canadian, so, like, she had access to just regular Hydrobots like all the Americans do, but...
all the Americans is a big stretch. I looked 3 or 4 times when they were supposedly out and never saw them locally. But...
I didn't know you looked for them.
I mean, I do just the general, hey, I'm going to look through all the toys at my local toy stores.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, this was Minerva Chromia, who wears these colors weird, because Chromia always looked weird. Actually, you know what? The pink one wasn't out yet. That's a BotCon toy from later in the timeline. So I'm surprised they went to Minerva and didn't do an RC version instead.
Yeah.
Anyway, Chromia always looks kind of weird in other colors, because she's got like this very specifically shaped head, except for when they Elita 1'd her, that actually made use of the funny shape of her head. That worked with the funny shape of Elita 1's head. Anyway, got listings on Takara's website for upcoming figures. This is the hybrid style stuff. Midnight Jazz custom Transformers car to attend 2006 TFCon. I don't remember what this is. I'm assuming it's a car that has a wrap on it.
Yeah, that image looks like it's in the back window of a car.
Yeah. I shrug.
If it was real cool, Alphie'd have more information.
I was gonna say,
and I just got a ooh from her. So,
all right. So yeah, this is lost to the annals of time and history. Have a good night, Adamus Prime. Hadn't they just done like 2 Paradron? That was Energon RC got green repaints, because she wore those well. They never Minerva'd her. I think that was one of the things that stuck out about the Chromia DVD pack-in. Original pages of unpublished Dreamwave G1 issue 12 by Guido Guidi. I think these are around somewhere. This looks kind of familiar. Yeah, Optimus is in a tank, cups pointing at him.
Got Az on his shoulders.
Huh?
Look at Optimus Prime's shoulder.
Oh yeah, Az. I wonder if that Az is supposed to be Autobot symbol.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Likely.
Okay. Yeah.
That'd be my guess.
That's
like, I'm not drawing that.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's interesting.
When you put it in for digital colors or whatever, just pull up the Autobot sigil and stretch it the right way.
He penciled in so much of this. It's really
yeah.
He got to so he's like, no, I did the whole background. No, not till we lock this. That's kind of funny. Cidanuva, not that items like this don't get published now, but frequently during these streams I get the impression TFW was so starved for news. Look at this car with jazz paint on it. No, that was a point we made back when we started this, for the 03 news dive, is like, Transformers news was a lot different back then, than the, like, cavalcade that we get now. That's why when, like, this is not why specifically, but it's one of the reasons why I find it really cute when it's like, an entire Hasbro stream's contents get leaked by someone in the chain, and then the stream happens, and folks are like, we didn't even get anything new in that stream. How am I supposed to stay excited? And I'm always like...
Yeah.
You know, once upon a time, we had people taking photographs of receipts in front of packaged toys, and that kept us talking for 2 days.
And sometimes these were toys that nobody had any idea that they existed until they'd show up. Or anything of that sort, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just like, shrug. I mean, the news is, I would say the news is a little slower now than it was, say, in the early 2010s, early to mid-2010s.
Yeah,
but
we're not kicking a movie out every 18 months or whatever. So.
Yeah. But still, I think the news is faster now than it was definitely in the mid-aughts.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on a page here. Bonus. This is the whole thing. I remember the bonus that came with Hasbro Primus, and there was this whole big reveal, and it was the damaged Unicron head was the big reveal. But this was a whole thing in the members only section of the club website, so you had to describe it but not show a picture of it.
Theoretically, I might be able to go find the magazine that got released in if I really cared that much.
Yeah. Like in 2006, this actually did kind of make more sense in my head a little bit, because we didn't, have as much.
And it was also like you had to pay for that membership.
Yeah.
So it was keeping some level of like, no, there are people that paid for this, and like let them enjoy what they paid for, which in my current skull and crossbones flag waving mindsets on more streaming services shutting things down, Yar.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Again, that's how cute we were back then. Is we actually had the conversations to be precious about whether this one JPEG of a toy that we will all be buying and seeing ourselves inevitably, whether some people should get to talk about it more first because they paid $10 or something. I forgot how much. It was
Yeah.
more than $10. They weren't paying specifically just to see a picture every few months. Like there was the whole club thing attached to it.
Well, yeah,
But
because you got a bigger discount on BotCon than the price of the club. So if you were going to BotCon, then it only made sense to become a club member. But there were still people that did not sign up for the club because they didn't want anything that came with the club, even though it meant that you paid $10 more at BotCon than taking what would otherwise be a discount. Yeah,
some might say
People.
some people who probably shouldn't say such things out loud in hotel lobbies might say like suckers. Am I right?
Yeah.
Valkai says the last time we found out about new official toys from them being found in store was Prid. Everything since then has been leaked. I think every now and then, like a cartoon derived deluxe will pop up that nobody, because those don't have a promo cycle. So I feel like that still happens. Some, like, not all, because I mean Cosmos I think was like a leak, but
Yeah. The Energon weaponizers, Robot Lorekeeper saying. I don't remember.
Yeah.
I don't remember anything.
The listing had leaked, but
there was a listing that
Yeah,
that listing didn't really say anything.
The listing had very generic words, and we assumed there would be more, but no, one of them was just called Cybertronic.
Yeah.
Matching listings were out, but the listings were so nondescript that, like, to my recollection, it was like a reveal what those listings meant when those things popped up. Yeah, like a capsule recolor will show up at a Greenland store or something. Yeah, it's not like a brand new mold half the time. Oh yeah, the leaks at Energon Optimus Prime. That's right. I think I was one of the ones who was like, maybe just wait to see what that means. Because those are a lot of Transformers words. Because that was the whole activate your alt mode thing, if I recall correctly, which is like a sentence that has words in it. IDW teaser, a storm is coming in July 2006. That's all that looks like the planet Cybertron. Someone.
Well, at least at this point in time, in the Asian stuff, we were only on Earth, so
I guess
that was the wider world, maybe.
Oh, apparently the leaker at the time said it's just siege optics. That's the other thing is, like, I don't know. Keeping track of what the leakers say is like trying to keep track of what, like, late 2000s era BotCon is saying when they're posting on, like, 3 different message boards. Galaxy Force Primus has officially been released in Japan. This is that G1-ish box with the big grid.
Yeah, and like you were saying, I think this is in that era where a bunch of people thought that they were going to be going to, like, oh, everything's going to get re-released as G1 looking stuff, when it was just like, no, this is a really big release, and they decided to have fun with the box.
Yeah, because they gave him the 00 number as a bit, which is very cute. But yeah, I should say, because I mentioned it before, I do not believe this is the Primus that has the brittle plastic, the crumblification. I think that was Creator Primus, which I recall being a different Primus release. Oh yeah, if you should find a picture of the front of the box sometime, Simeon, because it's got like a full, like, kind of nice full, like, Primus artwork in robot mode on the front, if I recall correctly. An interview with Tim Seeley, the writer of the soon-to-be-released Transformers G.I. Joe: The Art of War, the Serpent OR series, if I recall correctly. I don't know what he would really have to say, nor if this works. This goes to transfans.net. Home of the trans fans.
Gotta take our words back again.
I was just joking about this at some point because it was, again, spreading the knowledge from our news dives to folks who had not seen about Pat Lee's amazing self-coined nickname, Pat the Trans Man Lee. He was not. That's for the record, as far as I know. But, okay, Creator Primus was 2010. Thank you, Solos Convoy. Anyway. Art du jour, Beast Wars The Gathering page. I read The Gathering, I just can't remember anything that happened in it. But this is artwork by Don Figueroa and colors by our boy, Josh Burcham. So, hey, yo. We got a review of the Beast Machines Complete Series DVD collection. I think ASM Zine is gone, so I would say that is
Yes,
not
it is
clickable.
gone.
Yeah. This includes commentary by Bob Skur, Marv Wolfman, Susan Blue, and David Kay. I listened to that commentary track, I think, once a long time ago. I wish I'd ripped that. Yeah, Don Figueroa is active on Blue Sky, although from what I can tell, it's a lot of people going like, look, Don, they made a toy of your thing! And it's kind of like, I think Don has kind of like demonstrated that maybe that's not like the thing he's the most interested in hearing about, necessarily, but it did lead to, like, he recently, because MMC has a trailer coming out for Optus Promenon / Pexis, he was talking about how he had designed a whole God Jinride setup for Stormbringer Prime, and then he never transformed in the book. Which is a warmer reception than I saw to the last time someone said, look, Don, they're doing a thing like what you did. Keep thinking about we're talking about a Beast Wars Magic the Gathering set. Not yet. I'm proud and honored to announce Hasbro's new Beast Wars and Alternators websites, which add the version 3 packaging artwork for the big bubble boxes, and a character bio section for the Beast Wars page.
Some poor intern finally got around to that portion of it.
I have a vague memory from the time being excited that they put character bios on the Beast Wars page, because I was like, that show's like almost 10 years old! They really care!
Yeah.
We got a BBTS newsletter about first 4 figures and all their statues. I don't think any of these came out. Then we got huge vintage department listings from when BBTS had tons of old vintage items. My understanding is that they didn't like cancel doing vintage items, it's just they don't really have that many. But this might be like years old memories now at this point.
Yeah, I'm trying to think who... Has anybody else really picked up the, hey, we're going to, like, run vintage stuff anymore? Like,
TF Source does, I think, sometimes.
TF Source, okay. I know that I see 1 or 2 of the, like, medium-large, like, there's at shows sometimes will be like, hey, we buy collections, just not here, not right now. Don't come here talking about it.
Sinanova pointing out, actually, BBTS saying, we don't have too many images yet, but upcoming releases include the following. It's like, I wonder why they don't have too many images yet.
Source does and just put out an AI slop ad for Beast Wars.
Oh, that's what that was about. I was wondering why
Okay.
because I saw they did a stupid they did a generative that involved pictures, like I think it like drew from photos of actual toy boxes and then had a bunch of made up toys jammed in between them.
Yeah.
And it's like doesn't 6.0 do blog posts for TF Source? Literally, dude with 1 million Transformers and a really nice photo shoot setup. It's so stupid. I saw a pub near here had a really obviously generative sandwich board inviting people to come in to watch the World Cup, and I'm like, dog, you could have just written the words World Cup with a Sharpie on a piece of felt and draped it in your window, and it would have been the same. But I would have respected you more. They have product shots of the actual things on their site. Yeah, that's what you got to do for vintage, right? Is have actual photographs of what you're selling. And yeah, Transformers Land is a good source for some vintage photos. That shows up a lot actually for 2000s era packaging photos when I want to reference stuff in the image searches. Has anyone seen Mattel's doing official generative T-shirts where they slap your face on a Motu movie adjacent body. I have not. That's funny. Because, like, people are warming up to that film, so it's almost like, oh, people are liking this too much. We gotta... They saw past Jared Leto, and they're still... Oh, no, okay, launch the t-shirt campaign. Yeah, with TF Source and The Pub, that to me is more like an owner, possibly, is like, I can do this myself, and then probably is very defensive the next day when they read how it went. That's an assumption I'm making. I didn't go to look. I do have the future of Transformers for Tomi Takara, which was revealed in the much-awaited Figaro magazine. There was no real announcement about the future of Transformers. 1% to 2% of the entire article was Transformers. It is stated that 2006 is the year they officially start marketing Transformers to the older audience. This, no doubt, must correspond with the upcoming release of Transformers Classics. No! Transformers Classics didn't come out in Japan until March 2008! I don't know what they're talking about!
Yeah.
Wait, no, 2006. They're talking about Kiss Play. That's probably what they're talking about, is Kiss Play. 20th Anniversary Optimus in the UK, coming out in May 2006 for the price of $49.99, I assume, pounds.
Likely.
Joe, you could put the symbol. I keep picking on poor 20 years past Joe Moore.
Not on the standard keyboard layout, though.
I know.
You have to do the weird character map thing, Alt plus whatever, to get it figured out.
Alex Kidd, my grandma got me that Optimus. Congrats! Your grandma sounds cool. I'm basing that off of your grandma getting you that Optimus. I don't know if anything actually... I apologize if I'm bringing up sore memories. How are we all feeling about the new KP Tape Buddies with Gem Blaster? Perfect fit. The molds exist. The colors are great. I say go for it. What else are you going to do? Other than like a Gem in the Holograms original mold, which is kind of what I thought they were going to do, but, you know.
I don't think Gem and the Holograms have enough push behind them to warrant a full crossovers unique mold item.
I don't disagree, but but also they made 2 Stranger Things vans.
Yeah. Well, Stranger Things is the big thing on Netflix or something.
When those vans got made, I think I did at the time on a stream. I have an argument to make that the Stranger Things crossover toys were just someone who saw a chance to make 2 vans they wanted to make. And that Netflix didn't check on anything as long as the Demogorgon was on a sticker somewhere.
Yeah.
Because they made 2 Stranger Things Transformers that are 2 incredibly niche little references from the later seasons that way fewer people watched. One of them is a stoner van. Anyway, new Beast Wars Primal and Megatron artwork revealed. So this is the reveal of the packaging artwork.
You just skipped over one there.
Oh, did I? Oh!
Of all the ones for you to skip over. Come on.
I always miss one.
She's in the house.
Oh, she's link rot. But we got a new gallery. Introducing Alphie. Is this still up on the... This has to be still up on the site somewhere, right?
I did a couple of pokes. It goes to the image galleries that then has a bunch of error 404s.
Oh.
Like tech specs and customs and screen captures all take you to the boards. Same with wallpapers. Toys goes to the sorted out toys things.
You know, you could make Tony really uncomfortable the next time you see him. Go like, where's Alphie's Oddities?
Yeah. Well, so the rough thing is much of those are now lost. They're no longer in her collection. When she moved here from Kansas City, all of her Oddity stuff got put in a storage unit, and it was the storage unit that was closest to where she lived, so that's why she picked it. But they wanted us to mail them a check every month. Did not accept, would not take a credit card to be on file, nothing like that. And we would mail a check with like I would go to the post office to get tracking on an envelope because a couple of checks didn't make it even though they somehow got cashed. So it was like, okay, well, we got to keep this. And it was like after a year and a half of doing that and just not going back for it, it was eventually like 2 or 3 checks didn't get cashed, and then it was all overdue, and then suddenly they got cashed, and then it was all sold, and then we got notification that it had been sold, and got a check for like the $57 or whatever in excess of what was in arrears or some nonsense. It was very upsetting that a bunch of that stuff got lost because she had a ton of stuff, like any of the old G1 birthday party sets or underoos or the vinyl jackets. We found another vinyl jacket and I picked that up for her at a show, but a whole lot of that stuff. Yeah.
I was going to say, these photos are probably on a hard drive somewhere in Casa de TFW.
Yeah, they're maybe on a hard drive somewhere in this house as well. However, so many hard drives that I had from when she came early and dumped a bunch of other hard drives are labeled like backup 4.
That's why you just make this Tony's problem next time you see
maybe. Maybe just fire off a message. Hey, Tony, what's the odds of... that, or she is going to be the official photographer for TFCon Toronto this year, so maybe make it Colin's problem to make it Tony's problem.
Yeah. And just tell Colin, like, yo, next time Tony's at a place, we can just tell him, like, hey, Alphie's looking for you about those photos. And then, like, crack knuckle. Well, we do have this happy birthday banner from the Energon era by Designware with a fascinating, mushy-looking Energon Optimus painted to look like, or inked in to look like G1 Optimus.
Mm-hmm.
Man. That would all be like that weird like licensor image bank stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's a Decepticon symbol. Happy evil birthday. TF Auctions is letting everyone know the 5 Keys 5 Sites contest is officially ended. This is going to be the recurring character of the next 14 streams somehow. So we've got Transformers products to be released in March, April, and May of 2006. I'll just give you all a quick, smooth scroll through there so you can all record keep that.
3 months of release information all in one vomit. There you go.
Yep, just UPC codes, whatever. Here you go. What are they redecos of? There, that's what they're redecos of. Here you go. Take it easy, Robot Lore Keeper. I'm going to pop to the next page. Hit. We got our first online images of the Collectors Club Landquake figure. There he is. I remember these got like progressively less exciting as we kind of like, even though we all knew what it was going in, I think it was like once we got to like the 3rd and 4th one where it's like, well, I know what molds they are and we know what the colors are. It's kind of like, just show us. I guess just show us. I don't know.
Feel bad for Hasbro trying to keep some of those molds alive for 2 extra years after they're completely done.
Yeah,
but,
at the time, I never thought about that at all.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's why the molds were there for them to do those Revenge of the Fallen runs on these. Like maybe they had to renew them anyway.
I would not be surprised if that was part of it. Like, hey, we've kept these, like we've not turned these into boat ballasts, so like they're still sitting here. What if we shoot some plastic into it and have something else to sell?
Yeah. Do these figures, a lot of people asking if these things crumble nowadays. I have one back at my mom's place that I don't touch. My understanding is
I still have mine combined, and I don't touch it, but it's not like it's exploded.
Yeah.
Moving across town, at least.
To my knowledge, I don't know of the Nexus Maximus Dildo Kong fivesome necessarily all just disintegrating like with a crumble plastic scenario, but they are full of pins through clear plastic, which and I don't think that it's literally like the combiner joint is clear plastic on clear plastic necessarily, unless it specifically is and I'm misremembering. But I think at least like the outer casing on the pegs was clear plastic on some of them because there was like an energon thing. I don't know. I might be misremembering this part. But yeah, I'm unaware of like any like widespread disintegrations of old Dildo Kong.
So funny thing is, now the top thing for Nexus Maximus after the toy, immediately after the toy, is Nexus RV, and the Maximus is built on a Ford F-650 chassis.
I bet they would have been fine with that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, Valkai says the pegs were clear on all of them, but the sockets were not clear. Okay, that's what I was kind of remembering. Because I think at the time even there was this whole like pseudo discussion about like these, because I think it was that way on the regular ones too. I just remember there were threads about how like there's a certain way to remove them that is way less frictiony than just like yanking the things out. Souls Convoy, I have a clear easy collection set from Galaxy Force and only 1/3 is broken. Yeah, with clear plastic joints, like it kind of just depends on like how many pins are involved, and also even with the pins, like how much like detented friction is there.
Mm-hmm. And how much meat in the plastic. I feel like if you've got more clear plastic in there, like even though it's brittle, it's a larger thing to spread those forces out against, versus when it's like, hey, it's a thin bit of plastic with a pin fired through it, you're just asking for it to shrapnel.
And if it's thicker, even if it does crack, like there's room for it to just microfracture and like get looser. But what the hell is this? Okay, we got a movie update from line producer Ian Bryce. Hello, trans fans. Sorry for my absence lately. Movie has been extremely busy. A few tidbits for you from my side. Several major locations now selected. Set construction should start in about 2 weeks. Casting now beginning. First vehicles already in our shop. Many designs now complete. Stay tuned. The movie will shoot in various U.S. locations. Plus a chilly location to bid. That's your update from line producer Ian Bryce, who had a gun pressed to the back of his head while typing this. W.D. Gaster, is that you? That didn't exist in 2006.
Again, this is about a year and 2 months out from when the movie releases, and we know that best case scenario this time frame, it's like 9 months for toy design development, production, release.
They had toys in progress at this point. They had to.
Yeah. They had to have had like first vehicle's already in the shop because we've decided what they are.
Yeah.
Like you know that the Bumblebee Camaros at this point were probably done. Maybe if there was still discussion over flat nose versus truck over cab versus truck, or cab over engine versus standard layout truck, like some of those things maybe were still working their way through. But yeah,
this also explains a lot about like the proliferation of concept art Megatron's head in a lot of toys and etc. Because I mean that's the most standout one at least. But that thing shows up all over the place.
Would have been had to be locked in, and then somebody later down the line was like, "Yeah, what if it was different?"
Hey, look, Transformers.com scooped the club.
Those bastards.
They're like, screw your value. Here's the thing. I remember being really excited seeing this picture because I was like, we're exclusively getting that, yeah. And I had that thing living on my desk for a while because I didn't know where to put it.
I remember a bunch of people putting that on like Fort Mac base.
Yeah, I mean,
along with the Megabolt Megatron.
You could just rest it up there, yeah. There's a cool bit of storytelling, though. Like, this whole idea, when you look at this, right, it's like, there is storytelling to this of, like, you know, okay, how exactly does Unicron's head regenerate? And it's like, it grows tentacles. Does the head have any features or articulation? I don't believe so. I think it was just a solid piece. That's why it has, like slightly detailed paintwork. And I don't know if it was like a one piece full shot, but like it was basically a static piece that came with North American Primuses. But this piece and the Unicron Deluxe tank are like 2 bits of like toy only storytelling that are kind of interesting. Because also the tentacles and stuff, you can see like the cut off like regrowing tentacle at the base of the neck. Those like match up with some of the imagery of Sideways when he gets like blown apart. It's some cool concept stuff that like never really got media backed. More first 4 figures. None of this came out, I don't think. There's a bust of Optimus Primal. Wonder if this is where the inner eye shape for HasLab Unicron came from. Let me take another look. Maybe, like with the, yeah. Well, maybe this was meant to, like, or it drew some inspiration from, like, the Metroplex eye that was in the G1 cartoon. I don't remember what it looked like now, so I'm just spitballing.
Yeah, maybe.
Primal looks like he's wearing a sweater. I was going to say, it's pretty good fur sculpt. He's keeping warm, but he's got his boobs out.
As you do.
Yeah. Thank goodness the Complete Series Beast Machines DVD boxes are now shipping. You can get it for $35.88. Specific. First 4 fans is once again listen to the fans. They want to know how many of us want to see War Within statues return. I feel like there's going to be a really bad ending to this. Got a BBTS news update. Anything funny in here? No, this is all Transformers stuff. Action HQ updates. New episodes of Cybertron beginning March 11th on Cartoon Network at 7 p.m. Saturday. World's smallest Transformers snarl has been received by TF Source. Okay, and they're shipping it out too. This can be had for $16 or $30 for 2. So this was Justy Toys, I believe. Or I guess who would eventually become revealed to be Justy Toys.
Yeah.
So I remember these things kicking around for a while. F for F is still around? Wait, first 4 figures is still around, and they're doing Sonic Adventure 2 statues. What? Did any of their Transformers stuff actually come out? Maybe I'm being, like, needlessly cruel. Had those War for Cybertron Titaniums... No, Titaniums did not yet exist. I don't believe. No, I take it back. But not War for Cybertron, because that doesn't exist. Oh, you're thinking of War Within, though. Yeah. I don't think we had the 6-inch Titaniums yet. We do have Wave 1 of the upcoming Titanium line, which is these ones. This is a leak photo. This is how leaks were back in the day. I remember this was really... This was like... I was quietly excited for this for a few minutes, because I was like, hey, I'll take any Unicron. But this Unicron is suffering.
Well, I mean, it was these were the small, like the tiny Titaniums.
Yeah, these were the tiny little guys.
That's like a ink wash that's just slapped on real quick, or is like the panel liner paint to give it some sort of detail. And
I mean his arms. Like he looks like he doesn't have arms, and he's wearing a backpack with 2 big fake arms on there, and he's only realizing right now in this photo that those aren't his arms. I do like the proportions on those little Titaniums, though, in retrospect, as, like, kitschy stuff. Takara Tomy will open their new website on March 1st. Them funny robots bugging out. There's a bug on him. This one had black wash so thick you could scrape it off with your fingernail. That sounds familiar, actually. See international toy sightings, movie casting and film location updates. Here, I can tell by the periods. This is Ian Bryce. Yes, casting news should begin to surface within the next month. At least one XL star wants to be in the film. Casting is taking place in Los Angeles. I don't know who the extra large star was that they're talking about. Because I can't remember who was already famous in the Transformers movie when it came out. Unless that's like Jon Voight, in which case that's a really generous way to define Jon Voight.
Yeah, I'm having to go look at IMDb because my... so Shia, I don't think Shia was big at this point.
No.
Megan Fox, Josh Duhamel, Tyrese Gibson, Rachel Taylor, Anthony Anderson. I mean, he was like a funny comedian guy that was out there a little bit. John Turturro.
Maybe John Turturro was the one.
He'd had some stuff. John Voight.
I would say Turturro actually is most likely the extra large star.
Yeah, Turturro is the one that I can think of that might have been.
Because I was going to say Tyrese also, this was coming off Too Fast, Too Furious, so it could have been Tyrese Gibson as well, but I'm not sure.
Maybe Tyrese, yeah.
They wanted to be in it. I think Tyrese actually wanted to be in it. Like it was an act.
I remember Tyrese at the premiere, and he was the one that was like super hype.
Oh, he was doing Left Cheek as a meme with people in the audience.
Yeah.
So maybe it was Tyrese.
He was super hype about it.
Remember how Tyrese Gibson like scratched a priceless one-of-a-kind Sideswipe car a few years later?
Mm-hmm.
I always remember that. That was a funny news story. Target exclusive Ultras Ultras purchased Cybertron repackages arrive. What does this mean? What's the photo? I don't know, man. Mouth04, that's Daniel Ross, I think. Voice performer Daniel Ross. So this was deluxe 2-packs. Retailing 16 Universe End Cap promotion that includes the Ultras. Okay.
I think that's supposed to be like two different Target exclusive Ultras purchased. Cybertron repackages arriving at stores.
Oh!
Like there should be like a line break in there.
I was going to say, like, hey, 20 years past Colin, what's going on here? Are you drunk? Like,
Probably. 9 in the morning? Yeah.
Yeah. Hello, Collector K9. Repro Labels update. They're getting into some Zoids faction symbols. The next world's smallest Transformers is Slag. I guess because that was... Yeah, okay, that was on the instruction sheet. They're like, upcoming next. This was a whole saga, like, these whoever these anonymous heroes are that are making world's smallest scale Dinobots. End of February official release of the Beast Machines DVD box. When did Repro Labels rebrand as Toy Hacks? Very recently, because some of my original work with them, promo stuff, was like when I think both names were floating around. That might have been more so me just assuming that they wanted to be Repro Labels Toy Hacks. But that's already in the like 2010s. They were still doing the name shift, I think. Evangelist, did you collect any of the world's smallest Transformers guys? Yeah, I bought cases of them at BotCons when they were new.
That's how you did it.
I had no idea Toy Hacks is Repro Labels. Yeah, they are. Repro Labels fully name transitioned to Toy Hacks sometime in the 2010s. I just can't remember when. I think it's because they were making things outside of just labels, and so they wanted to have a name that wasn't like reproduction labels. Because at that point they were already into doing their upgrade sets, and like, you know, obviously an upgrade set of labels is no longer a reproduction. So I think the name Repro Labels was starting to hold them back a little bit. Yeah, Toy Hacks is like, I guess, yeah, the parent company of Repro Labels, but like, as far as I know, they don't really have that much interest in being known as Repro Labels anymore. Like, they seem to just want to be Toy Hacks now. Yeah, that's right, Krugy Snoot. Good name. I remember it was the display background specifically, because it was me and a couple other people they'd sent review copies of the backgrounds to, and I still have one up there, behind some paper. On paper, they're still... Yeah, like, I don't think they, like, erased the name, but, like, as far as I know, they prefer to just be known as Toy Hacks now. What's that code again, Long was here? What a great question. I do have an answer for you. The code is Crangelux, for this month only, 15% off your order, and after this, the coupon code train is over for the time being. So if you have been waiting to get 15% off of some labels of reproductive type from Toy Hacks, and you want to use a code to get a discount on doing that, this is the month to do it, unless you want to wait to see if other codes pop up in tune with, like, I don't know, holidays or something. Anyway, that's the code. Thanks for asking, Long was here. Using the code does support the channel, and supporting the channel does feed the machine. I wish they would do some old repro stuff. I'd love for them to do the Action Master vehicles. I'm sure they at least have, like, a bunch of, like, the templating for whatever they had done, and I could have sworn Delta was still, like scanning in tons of old toys. Still on their awning and paperwork, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, we got the stock images. Look at these brand new toys. I forgot there was an evil version of Jetfire.
Oh, yeah.
That's not Alternator's Mirage. That's... I know that's probably not the point. You're supposed to click through to a website, but I just read the headline and etc. Overcast, yes.
Entertainment Earth, sometimes those last.
That site still exists.
They did. The alternators are Prime Mirage, slow loading.
It's been sold out. Universe Ultra, or Cybertron Ultra Wave 5 Rev 1 is unfortunately sold out at the time being.
Sky Shadow is Jetfire in disguise. Yeah, so that wasn't an evil Jetfire. That was a disguised Jetfire.
Right. From lore. I wanted Cybertron Menasor. That's the one I wanted to be. Yeah, I wanted Cybertron Menasor as Spreem. I remember I cornered someone from FunPub about that. Anyway, BalkCon 2006, date and location, Lexington, KY, on September 28th, at the Hyatt Regency, Lexington, in the Lexington Center. 06 was the Beast Wars Out of Cybertron Toys year, if I recall correctly. That's when I disassembled and reassembled my Waspinator from the 06 set because the spring-loaded mechanism was installed wrong. And I did that while very drunk by myself in my hotel room before immediately going to sleep afterwards. Let's see. Darkest Hour, a Lego project. This comes from...
That was the convention that had the bar in the lobby of the hotel.
Yes!
That was where we wanted drinking.
Yeah. It was a very packed location.
Mm-hmm.
Also, now I'm keeping track of this. I did also skip over another news story. Cybertron's available on Comcast On Demand. That is not as important as Alphie's Oddities, but thanks to our very own Shinguki, we know that the first 8 episodes are on Comcast Cable On Demand, which, again, that's an American thing I didn't have as a Canadian, but I'm guessing that was like an a la carte digital service in the heyday of those things starting to exist.
Yeah, that was... So I had Comcast at that point in time, and there was like a limited selection of things that could just be like on demand. Some things you'd have to pay for, like were pay-per-view style, if you know what I mean. And then you had like kids channel stuff that was just like, I don't know, put it on noise for little Timmy, so he'll shut up for 5 minutes.
If only someone would invent a tablet that did that, and then eventually also showed him messed up imagery. Anyway, someone was Adam Rockmore was saying that the news was so different that yes, they were covering Lego Transformer AFOL projects, mocs, if you will. This is by member The Librarian, who's been working on a painstakingly detailed set of Lego-based Transformers. The story surrounding these figures is The Darkest Hour. We should all call them amazing pieces of work. This is the only photograph I have of that. Actually looks really dang cool. I didn't think they were going to be printed faces.
Yeah, this is also the era where, like, the fan art submissions at conventions would be like 6 or 7 tables of stuff, and I don't think TFCon has had some of that stuff shown off, but not nearly the same scale that it once was.
Yeah, I remember Lego Transformers being a big thing at BotCon custom contests in the physical category. I'm just dragging over some stuff. Ali Convoy actually found some working thumbnails from Alphie's Oddities. So I want to take a look at those. They're very small, sadly.
Those are very small, yeah.
Yeah, the collector
TV,
case.
the light set, the TV thing may still be there. The collector case is just the old school collector case. You can, not going to say you can find those anywhere, but they see them frequently. I don't know if the ones I've seen recently are in that good a shape, though.
Yeah.
Party invitations, yeah.
That's a 2001 thing. There's some Gigatron on there. I can't tell what that is. That's just a banner, I think. And stamps. Yeah. So thanks for the salvage work, but also Ali Convoy got for us the Lego Transformers images, so we can see some more of these. But I'm seeing who is it here? Long was here in the chat saying, I remember these on mock pages.
Yeah, I would not be surprised if these got shared around quite a bit. Man, about half of these clicking into them, even when it shows it, where it has the small JPEG.
Yeah, the big picture doesn't show up.
Big one, yeah.
I would love to see the new big 3. Student Scissors, I believe this dude is on Flickr now. Okay. Does he still go by the Librarian? Okay, some of this stuff looks very cool. It's friggin' Springer. I vaguely recall this Springer. The alt modes were activating a neuron. I don't think he's still making Lego TFs, though. Librarian bought, I think. Okay. Oh, man. Archive.org is chuggling along.
Yeah.
These are all just breaking on me. Oh, no! I might have hit the limit already.
Well, that's the thing, is if, like, they weren't gotten. It tries because it looks for where it thinks that they should be saved, but
yeah,
they aren't necessarily saved.
This is all alphabetical, I think, too. So it probably just saved like a few from the first bunch, and probably I'm not gonna keep digging. There's too many pages. That's a really nice one though to have preserved. And we got the Flickr page. Let me see how that goes. Librarian. Oh, these are really nice. So how new are these? 2024. This is from 2 years ago.
There's too much white to be going with that trans yellow.
Hey, this looks kind of like an Optimus Prime over here on the bottom left. This is for Eurobricks Space Pirates Back to the Caribbean Galaxy competition. Scroll to the page bottom and hit 10. Okay. Wait, who's this? Who's this? Who's this? Who's this guy? This looks like a Transformer. Oh, there's pictures of the old ones back there. Okay, I gotta stick to our character here. We're only looking at what's old. These funny looking stickmans, some kind of bionic icicles. Transformed jazz. This is from 2009. Okay. Are there any from Darkest Hour? This all still looks like it's newer than Darkest Hour. Yeah, these are just Bionicles. Who would take photos of Bionicles?
Weirdos.
Whole bunch of Lex Luthors. Yeah, I think these are still ones that were done after the ones we were looking at. No disrespect to them. Unless I'm missing something in the descriptions here. No, this is Transformed. Halfway down page 10. Oh, no, these are the Transformed ones, though. That's the Ironhide I was just looking at, and the Chrome Dome from a bit earlier. If that's the one you mean, because it's about halfway on the page. Even these Insecticons look kind of different, and they don't have the faces. Yeah, these are different. I want to see these ones. So that's really cool. Shout out Librarian bot wherever it is you are. You have turned into a tangent that I need to back away from so we can continue on and march our way into March. Got some scans and info. This is, I think, just what we have here is a promo shot of the Laser Optimus reissue and the Laser Magnus that I know we had some pop-offs for when we first saw that a couple streams ago. Ian Bryce back again. Why is Ian Bryce being made to do all the posting now? Boston is unlikely as a location. Casting is focused on human actors for now. Voice actors will be later, and all this end are aware of the fan feelings. Will be months before that casting happens. Lots of humans to cast first. First castings news may surface soon. Can't yet reveal which cars are in the shop, but they'll be joined soon by trucks and other stuff. Movie is not officially greenlit yet, but we're gearing up for June shoot. We hope that by next week we will be official. Human actors and voice actors mentioned separately. Yep. They're hoping to start shooting in June now. We got some
March,
Canadian releases.
April, May, June. So somehow not greenlit, even though they've done all this work 3 months out from shooting.
I'm curious what their definition of greenlit is. Because that's not saying like, oh, they're lying. It's just like there's... I wonder what they are precisely meaning by greenlit. Because clearly, pre-production is underway. Preview pages for Art of War. I don't think we can see this. We saw that already. The Cyber Key Hunt finally! Shouts out to Phil Donaldson, Phil D, first place. Second place, Aaron Wheeler, Bendemus Prime. Third place, Malcolm Wilson, Cataclysm. First place runner-up is fourth place. First place runner-up goes to Adam Myers, Wheel Cool. Second place runner-up goes to Dat Hong, Hot Rod 5749. And third place runner-up goes to Chris Fenney, Primus 5. This should be fourth, fifth, and sixth place. IMO. Hercules was not out yet. Hercules was out in 2010 or 2011. No. Hercules was post 2011 because Hercules was coming out after I'd moved to Toronto. So Hercules was a 2011-2012 thing, I think.
Yeah, it was later on.
Solus Convoy. I just found out Ian Bryce is British. Oh. I specifically cannot give him an accent.
Because that'd be racist.
Exactly. We got some sketches from Evolution Hearts of Steel. Man, this is where it began. This is where the Shockwave is a boat. This is where it all began.
Hope he doesn't get turned upside down.
And that's impossible. We got some new G1 knockoffs showing up on eBay. This is the era, right, when it was like random. We're just going to shoot clear plastic in the molds.
Yep.
This is the
Yeah, this is that era, because I can't remember if it was 06 or 07
Alvarez had
where
a
it was
yeah.
where it was like the whole wall of stuff that was like, oh yeah, it was a warehouse find.
Oh right, the warehouse fine dealer, and then
Yeah.
well, it was at the I think the '05 BotCon when Alvarez did his slideshow. It was '05 or '06. He did a slideshow just showing like random clear and chrome G1 knockoffs for most of the slideshow of just like weird stuff that exists. And I think at that slideshow he straight up said, like, you know, as we all would come to know, this was just these molds exist and someone at the factory is just like shooting plastic into it to see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Got an interview and preview. Do have a new page. Look at this, the Art of War, a brand new page. The Serpentoir story. Oh, here we go. Transformers the movie. Green light. Keep this. Don Murphy posted just this image on his message board today. Thanks, Don.
Apparently that's what they were waiting for. They were waiting
Right.
for the right alignment of the sun to come through the office and hit this green jewel.
Yeah.
That's how they knew.
Hoping someone would actually flick that switch. So now it begins. March 2nd, 2006. Green Lantern confirmed. Got some comic shipping. Got some solicitations. Images of the upcoming Cybertron Soundwave and Cannonball. Here's our leaker Cannonball picture. This funny little barbell down there. I know it's a hammer. I know it's a hammer. That's OG Cannonball. New back of package image of reissue Battle Convoys. This is the back of the reissue Laser Prime package, where they. I think this is just the images that they, or the what do you call it? The image file that they had for the from the old packaging, because it's got like that photo shoot on the side.
Mm-hmm.
I love the old Takara G2 logo. It's the big gold plate. Here we go. Don Murphy's to attend Toronto Transformers Con 2006. He posted an update on the message board.
We are making Transformers the live-action movie. Filming starts in May. We are casting the human roles now. Kurtzman and Orsi have turned in another draft. The draft addresses some of the problems that lurked from earlier drafts. The first Stooge ambassador... What the
Stooges was his fandom name, right?
Yeah. Those were his fans. See, before VTubers, there was Don Murphy, who had the Stooges bore the Oshi mark of Don Murphy himself.
The first Stooge ambassador came to visit the Shoot 'em Up set this week here in Toronto. Shout out to Omnicron for a terrific visit. Design work continues. I will be a guest at the Transformers Con on April 29th here in Toronto.
I didn't go to that one. I missed that one. I didn't start going until 2008. A new image of Hybrid Style Prime from Leaksville. Him wearing his backpack and working his turret. Stooge is such a wrestling slime ball. Yeah, it is. Beast Wars 10th Anniversary Wave 2. We got a picture with a receipt. A gift for you.
You know it's official.
New image of Repugnus and Short Round. This is from the Hong Kong news group Talk.Transformers. New titanium 6-inch figures, Jetfire. Okay, so that means 6-inch Optimus and Megatron had come out by now. Because we have new images for the Wave 2 one. I believe this was Wave 2. Jetfire and Thundercracker. I remember this wave because Thundercracker was actually like a functioning Transformer. And that was like the big news. It was like the Tetrajet is good, everyone. It was a big deal. New images of the Minicon repaints. I think I just saw these while I was out west. Pre-order, flashback, the Transformers Generation Series takes you back in March. So this was just old books. Yeah, but with new... Oh, this is an Ashley Wood cover. Holy crap. Yeah, it is totally Ashley Wood style.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of cool. Transformers movie update, new crew and more. Ian Bryce has posted. Start building sets on location in a week. Start building sets in LA in less than 1 month. ILM now starting to build our CG robots. Costume designer Deb Scott, Titanic. Assistant director Simon Warnock, Lord of the Rings. Stunt coordinator Kenny Bates, Pearl Harbor. Cinematographer Mitch Emundson, 8 Below. Lots of Bay films. I have a vague memory that these updates were the ones where we, as the fandom, started to gloss over them a little bit.
Yeah.
Because we not to say we were just collectively media illiterate, but there were less people who could connect dots together as to what any of this might possibly mean.
Yeah, what's a costume designer really do? It's clothes, right? You just have them, I don't know, have Shia wear some clothes.
I'm sure someone in a board post somewhere was like, does costume designer mean the robots are going to be physical costumes? Is it going to look like Power Rangers? Infiltration number 3 review, which that just came out. Sabertron had a chance to talk to the G1 box designer Richard Marcej. Does this link work?
404, not found.
Dang it. Alternators Dodge Ram Pickup Optimus Prime Black version, which I think went on to be Alternators Nemesis Prime then, because there was only the one, I think. Yeah. Simeon Scott, getting this kind of bit-by-bit updating is low-key weird to me, being from the age of everything is a secret and we try to give it to you in spurts every few months. Yeah, I mean, this was Don Murphy, like, just turning his personal message board into a really weird, like, pseudo-blog.
Yeah.
That's Primus from Galaxy Force. I'd love to see the 07 movie with Universal Studios Megatron guy in a costume. Me too! We got a... Oh, someone... Yeah. Here. Ali Convoy found that interview with Richard Marcej. Reminisce about my days at Hasbro. Give you a brief history. My initial job interview at Hasbro was quite unusual. I'll be depicting it in issue number 2 of Action Figure, if there's an issue number... I'm guessing that was a self-published zine of some sort. I gotta rejig my windows slightly. Started as the 9th artist in the art department packaging department in November of 1983. Briefly worked at an animation studio, among other things worked on the movie Creep Show. So this is still back at good old Pawtucket, Rhode Island. Within 2 years, department grew to 35 artists. First work there is to produce finished drawings for the paint-by-number and pencil-by-number sets, including My Little Pony, Gremlins, and Transformers. The first Japanese packaging for the original Transformers arrived in the office. Senior designers were working on logos' initial packaging. That's interesting. Sorry, the interview was done by Professor Smooth? Oh, wait, no. This happened before. I was mixing up Professor Smooth with Dr. Smooth. Those are 2 different people, I think.
Yes.
Let's see. Prototype from the R&D department, several sketches. Keeping in mind where they'd be depicted on the boxer blister to make them look as animated as possible. This is interesting because, like, this was also the same era as, It's the guy who really sadly seems to have been, like, pseudo-dementiaed with AI brain rot now, but is it Mark Watts, the artist who, like, was another packaging artist that's, like, active at conventions now?
It's a familiar name.
It's the guy who's, like, fully gone in on generative, too, sadly. And in the really depressing way, because the dude, like, is very advanced in age compared to some of the other people who've pushed that stuff, and I don't know. I looked into the whole thing a few months back when it was kicking around, and I was like, this just seems really sad. To keep consistency, the same illustrators were hired to paint the final piece. I wonder if that's Mark Watts. They'd follow my pencils, so while I'd never produce a final painted piece, I'd turn around and finish the pencils in inks. That would be handed to licensing catalogs, and then the catalogs would be passed along to companies that produced Halloween costumes, bed sheets. Oh, okay, so that's like the Styles Guide stuff. Okay, that's kind of cool. I've been drawing since I was... Was it difficult? No. I've been drawing since I was 4 years old. So I was at a blast drawing them. How long did each piece take? I couldn't say. The more I like the toy, like the Dinobots, for instance, the quicker it would take to complete. Did you draw any of the battle scenes? You brought up my favorite assignment on Transformers. I don't recall the year, maybe 87 or 88. Been decided to give the packaging an update to freshen up the look. I'm guessing that was... Yeah, the logo was slightly tweaked and the grid look was given to the packaging. So I guess that might be like... Yeah, 87, 88, like after the first packaging style, like before it went into like the fully chromatic looking thing.
Yeah.
A comic book feel was requested. I was given the assignment. Thanks to my knowledge and enjoyment of comic books, my art director would usually leave me alone on those pieces. I had near total freedom working on those scenes and do all the pencils, inks, and paint the final in Dr. Martin Dyes. I think I still have some original pieces somewhere in my home studio. By the way, thanks in most parts of these pieces, I was given a final illustration job for all the second-year packaging of Cops and Crooks as well. That rocks that was all painted in Dr. Martin Dyes. Okay, yeah, Mark Watts is the guy I was thinking of. Yeah. Mark Watts is very sad case to look at. And we got, here's a Richard Marcej. I'm just guessing the pronunciation of his name, but here's one of his pieces. I remember, this lines up completely with what I'm thinking of. Dog, if he inked all this and just, like, dies. So if he did the pencils and inks and final paint work on this, on physical, that kicks ass.
Yeah.
God damn. That's a really... Because I remember this art had a really creative way to represent what the Pretenders were doing, rather than just having them physically split open. Having this, like, after-image look. Yeah, Mark Watts had the folding tables you could also hang on the wall. Which, when they first got debuted, I was tempted by one of those, because I was like, well, if I'm going to get a folding table someday. I did not. Yeah, it's wild to me. I hope it still exists, that there could be an original version of this piece that is, like, friggin' hand-painted.
Need to get, like, a playmat of that.
Yeah. Even, look,
and then play, like, My Little Pony or something. Like...
This is built for Bandai games, because the top left is where you could put your life cards, or your shield cards, or whatever Bandai game you're playing, cards that are your life points. Yeah, this rules. Are there any individual depictions of Transformers you're particularly fond of, besides the cosmic battle scenes? My favorites to draw were the Dinobots. Dude loves dinosaurs and robots. What would be the strangest products they appeared on? Giving out candy at Halloween one year and having a trick-or-treater come to the door wearing an Optimus Prime costume that featured my drawings. That's kind of weird. That's kind of cool.
Well, and that would be the era where it was like you had the plastic vacuum form mask and then a vinyl a vinyl shirt and or full jumpsuit that was just like the Transformers and something printed on the front of it.
Yeah, the costume was for the full body, but the effort was from the neck up.
Yeah.
All right, Preston, I'm almost embarrassed to ask this. For the sake of the fans, I will. Rumors have been making their way that your original version of Shockwave was a bit different than the one used for the box art. Can you tell us if this is true? How's the original Shockwave? I'll never forget the day that a shipment of first-run Shockwaves made their way around the offices. As you know, Shockwave had transformed from a robot to a large handheld gun that would light up and make noises when you pull the trigger. It's pretty neat, but you see, there's this thing about the trigger. When old Shockwave became his robot self, the trigger ended up between his legs and looked like, I'm going to guess, a penis. It became obvious from that day forward Shockwave was a male Transformer, and a pretty happy one at that. Needless to say, he was redesigned, but I kept one of those early Shockwaves and still have it to this day. Have we ever seen that? If not, we should get to see that.
I mean...
the artwork, I should say. It feels like something that might have surfaced at some point. Oh, we got an update from Kevin for spring, and I have the... Do you mind if I... Are you watching right now? And do you mind if I share your picture? I want to see the original Marcej Shockwave. Okay, do you still have original pieces you've done? Okay, I'm allowed to share. Yeah, here, Springen was saying they got... Yeah, here, right on their wall. Right here. Duh. So for a hot second, when you said I have this on my wall in my living room, I thought you meant you had like a 4x6 actual print of the actual painting, and I was gonna shake you down for your goods and services and money. But this is also still pretty cool.
I'm trying to think which versions of that I have. I may have that card back in storage somewhere.
Well, this would be on... was this on reissue Gaujinrai? Because if so, then this should be pretty plentifully available.
Plentifully? Are we making up words?
Yeah, plentifully. Numerically high availability. So, okay, let's see, I have something to... I have a pack rat, I tend to... Okay, so Richard Marcej is saying, if I ever have the time to go through all my stuff. I have sold some things, though. I had many Inhumanoids products and artwork since I worked a lot on that toy. I even had prototypes for creatures of the second Inhumanoid series that were never made. I say had, because I was fortunate enough to find an Inhumanoids collector and sold off... I wonder who ended up with those. Same goes for many of the Army Ants prototypes I had. Those went... I wonder who got a hold of those. I gotta ask the scary question. Is Richard Marcej alive? Does anyone know? Because this seems like someone from the Mark Watts era who hopefully has not had sludge injected into his brain, and maybe
his wiki and IMDb profiles have 1961 to dash.
Richard Marcej, are you out there somewhere? And did you look through your stuff yet? We need.
Currently employed as an art director at the mega conglomerate Siemens, where his work goes into hospitals, schools, warehouses, etc.
Oh, that's
Next
cool.
time you go shopping for a dishwasher, know there's a little G1 in there somewhere, per the wiki.
He posted on Facebook yesterday.
Okay,
well,
yeah.
Can you leave a comment saying, did you find your Transformers stuff yet? It's been 20 years since someone asked you. He was at TFCon Baltimore in 2024. Okay. So he's not been, like, away. He's not posting, like, generative, is he? Because after Mark Watts, like, I just want to ask first. Once again, I will say, like, my own take on Mark Watts is I think that's a lot more just sad than anything else. In addition to action figure, so it sounds like Richard Marcej posted or published a book of some kind. Can you tell us what PC art will be included in? Been going through old portfolios. Be reproducing many of my drawings and illustrations I did in those 5 years, from Transformers, Battle Beasts, Army Ants, Cops and Crooks, Inhumanoids, G.I. Joe, Wuzzles, Air Raiders. Man, his Air Raider stuff did look like the Pretender art. It had the swooshes. Yeah, okay. Probably in black and white with a colored cover. Chris, do you think I could bring my new BotCon Auto Trooper as my friend to TFCon, or will people try to steal him from me? How good are you at defending your loved ones? I mean, I think it'll be fine. Don't put a BotCon Auto Trooper on a table and then like leave, is what I would say.
See, I wasn't going to try to steal him until he said something. So like. Now it means Spigen is aware of the possibility, and that makes it fair game. True.
Because, like, here's the thing about any convention. This is not just TFCon. Like, if you leave stuff unattended in a crowded area, especially on, like, Saturday, then, like, there's a chance someone will just swipe it because there are just people who go to crowded conventions to swipe stuff.
Yeah.
They're usually in the dealer room.
They're called degenerates.
They're usually in the dealer room, though. However, if you leave stuff unattended in the hotel lobby, you're now dealing with hotel staff who don't know what none of this crap is. There you go. Attach them to your lanyard. There you go. Just run with the Auto Trooper bling, a la a Ken Noise Maze, and then you're set.
Mm-hmm.
The full title of this book, Action Figure, from the Journals of Richard Marcej. Why is his name spelled different? I'm just going to save this title name. Kept journals when I worked for Hasbro and Hallmark. Lots occurred. Okay, there's a snag in my comic. Oh, it's a comic action figure. Okay, so the retailers were not interested in it, it sounds like, because it's not superhero stuff and doesn't have boobs. This is the 2000s, coming off the 90s still. The Soul Comics, that's just a sad phrase. The Soul Comics distributor, Diamond Comics, have created a minimum number for all orders. This already forced several small publishers out of business. So action figure did not meet Diamond's new requirements. So he was going to sell a copy out of pocket on Baboon Books.
Dead link.
Dead link. I'm just going to test something in the other browser window if I look up the title. There are so many spellings of this last name. I'm going to try his last name according to the interview.
Yeah, I was going to say, the one that showed up was a bunch of, like, heart surgeon journal
Oh, this is weird.
studies.
So it did have the different name in the title, but you have to search for Richard Marcej. Did it just back up the whole thing onto books.google.com? What the... Hang on, I'm going to transfer some of these tabs over. There's also a Yojo link. The book is currently available at baboonbooks.com, and I'm guessing, yeah, baboonbooks.com doesn't exist.
That's what I said. That link didn't work.
I'm just mumbling to myself while I'm working because it's on books.google.com.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was sitting there thinking of. Hey, there's so many AI generative books now on Amazon. Surely a real book could get published there too.
Yeah, they don't put real books on Amazon anymore. Those things don't sell.
And apparently there is a tornado on the ground in the state of Indiana. That's neat.
Hey everyone in the state of Indiana.
It's a big state, and it's
there will be a VOD
right now, I guess. Yeah.
So if you do need to take care, then do take care. Aaron, are you still good?
Yeah. Oh, I'm here. It's
all right.
That storm was over the weekend, and it was only an EF0 that came near Mom's place. So,
Okay. So I'm just like, we're not at risk of you mid conversation going and then like just disappearing.
Well, I mean, you never know. But no,
Yeah.
Alphie like sent me a link to a video, and I'm like, I'm kind of live right now, dear. What's going on?
Verspringen says Indiana is 50,000 miles big and contains 5 people and gets 20 tornadoes a week. Is this accurate?
Rounding, yeah.
Okay, yeah. It's for Imperial, right?
Well, it's like significant figures. I don't know if you ever got into math that was complex enough to say like...
I just skipped straight to calculus and did all the funny puzzles, and then... Yeah.
Calculus might have had some significant figures. That's science stuff, generally.
It's just puzzles.
No, it's like when you watch a video and somebody says it was like, oh, they said it was about 100 yards away, and then they have like the 93.257 meters. It's like... One of those was an approximation, and then somebody decided to take a very literal rounding of what that number is.
Tombot's saying the storm is heading southeast, so away from Aaron. All the tornadoes are in Illinois. Sorry, Illinois.
After Illinois is Indiana.
Yeah, they're all just chilling out. And they're enjoying the Windy City. They're all getting a Chicago hot dog.
That last storm had a tornado touchdown in Chicagoland, so...
Hot dogs, right? That's the thing?
Chicago dogs are a thing.
Yeah,
yes.
right.
And if you ask for ketchup, they get very upset and start throwing tomato at you.
Yeah, no, they kill you.
Yeah.
That's where they get the hot dog parts from. Chicago hot dogs the thing. We got upcoming assortments for Titanium, including Optimal Optimus and Scourge. That would go on to be revealed to be the very funny Titanium 6-inch G1 Scourge.
Mm-hmm.
A very comical toy.
Titanium 6-inch is a line that I had to fight to complete and then sold off for dog butt cancer therapy.
Yeah, Titanium 6-inch is a curio of curios.
Yeah.
I think it's a beautiful line in hindsight because it's over.
Yeah. Titanium 6-inch was cool because it was Transformers from a group that like didn't make Transformers, because it was like the Hot Wheels team, or something.
But specifically, it was the Hot Wheels people trying to engineer Transformers, but they were receiving design work from Don Figueroa, who put lots of thought into the design. So it was really interesting because it's really good designs being mistranslated by an inexperienced team. Here we go. Yeah, we got our picture of, this is the funny Scourge. It's like, look, you see what I mean? If you look at this guy through one lens, you're like, there is actually good design work in here, but the execution is shambles, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that if Don F had not been the designer on some of this stuff, these would have been even worse. Which is what makes this so fascinating.
Yeah, these were fully transforming. Frequently, mostly die cast.
Yeah, like 90% die cast.
A lot of times, like, die cast in places where it was actually detrimental to the toy.
Yeah.
They'd end up, like, insanely top-heavy.
Yeah.
Or something along those lines.
The Megatron in question from Plastic Addict was from the first wave and was, quite specifically, the worst one that they ever made.
Yes.
It was, in fact, to the point of looking unfinished. There are parts of that toy that simply don't function properly. But even then, like 6-inch Titanium Ultra Magnus, with his famous misaligned spine, is because there is design work for the head to fold away in the cab and the cab to separate. The toy does not properly do that, but the engineers from Micro Machines still tried to follow the lines while engineering a different outcome, which results in an Ultra Magnus where his neck is full inches out of alignment with his shoulders, in a very funny way. We also got another Marcej piece here, some Pretenders artwork. I do remember this one somewhat. He clearly, you can tell he had fun drawing the Dinobot. Look.
Mm-hmm.
It's obvious where he spent most of his time. Damn, now that you know to look for it. That's kind of cool. Yeah, Titanium 6-inch Megatron like had no joint friction, and I believe no heels, and diagonal pointed feet, so he actually couldn't stand. Like he just literally, physically couldn't stand in robot mode.
Yes. Wooden puppet levels of floppy is exactly what I remember, and I think I still have that one because nobody would take it.
You could
You're
get
like,
that.
hey, you bought like 4 of these from me. How about I just give you this? No.
Yeah, you could get that Titanium Megatron sometimes for $5, or you could get it as someone forced it upon you, as you said, while selling you other things. You'd find one in your bag after and go like, who did this? Yeah, Titanium Magnus is just fascinating because, like I said, if you look at Titanium Magnus, or even Diaper Soundwave, and you look at them through a lens of line art first, you see where the intent was, and you see all kinds of places where the engineering side of that process just missed stuff. Like, just straight up didn't even realize what some stuff was supposed to be for. And I think it's fascinating. Like, not the same, but I guess one could put it in a similar bucket to why I think Bold Form's Gladius is incredibly fascinating and worth owning. The third-party Triple Changer Megatron by one guy, with an instruction manual that's like a little novel. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful curio. Congratulations 20-plus years ago to Chaos Muffin, by the way, for becoming a father. Lily Chaos Muffin is now nearly
able to drink
in
in the U.S.
In the
She'd
U.S.
probably be fine in Canada.
Oh, no,
like,
she's all set in Canada.
You guys are like 18 or 12 or something, right?
Yeah, it depends. In Alberta, it's 18, and the rest of the country, it's 19.
They can see over the bar. They can order a pint.
That child is almost through university, says Alex Kidd. Imagine if there is a picture of you as an infant buried on a Transformers news site. Because the community was way smaller back then.
Imagine if Lily is watching right now.
Hey, Lily Chaos Muffin, are you watching right now? And if so, how are things going? Hope you're doing okay. This kind of thing is adorable, not gonna lie. No, I agree. It's like way back when we found those videos from the BotCon 2000 dinner of my very first BotCon, and there were kids in those videos, and I'm like, those kids are like in their 30s now. I wonder how things turned out. What's the resale value on that human child? Well, as you can see, they have the packaging is not very yellowed yet, and that is very common with human infants. So this is quite mint. This is like an easy Gem 9. It is sealed. You can see right here. This is a sealed package. There's no, there's no tearing, no ripping, nothing. Okay, this can be super weird if Lily Chaos Muffin does actually find this, and then goes on to watch us discuss her infant self's level of packaging quality. So please do subscribe, Lily Chaos Muffin, if you are watching. Please, but also please click the bell, because that's how you'll know if new things are happening. Skywarp on card in Primus Unleashed packaging. Remember back when Transformers would just have like a nothing extra title for the last half or last third on the packaging? Primus Unleashed, the Allspark Battles, the Bumblebee Adventures. I love that we're just referring to her. I mean, I'm the only one really referring to her as Lily Chaos Muffin, to be fair.
Yeah. No, I was distracted because I went to see if Chaos Muffin is still a regular poster on TFW, and they were online today at 4:09 p.m.
Can you send Chaos Muffin a PM and go like...
yeah.
It's a message out of nowhere. How's your daughter doing?
Funny story, Vangelis and I are doing a news dive. You're not really supposed to share your PMs with people, but this is kind of a public public-private thing here.
Yeah, Tombot, say hi to your daughter for me.
Oldest available front page.
I do appreciate that you have to actually give a capsule as to what we're even doing to explain why. So to explain why,
not to be all weird.
We didn't go looking for a picture of your daughter in the first week of her life.
We hope all is well, and you may find it.
This thread is from when we looked at the...
Or weird.
So there's a Toy Arc thread that's called Where is Chaos Muffin from March 2006, right before the reporting of his daughter's birth. I guess that's where he was.
Yeah.
Also, Bradder's down there, responsible for my avatar on TFW. I also like how it's just the Toy Arc. And it's K.A. Where's Chaos Muffin? Bradder's. Yeah. He was moving. Alphie. Yeah, he said he's moving.
Yeah. Like we all took care of each other. We all paid attention to things.
This is just a thread in the Toy Arc subforum. Where's this guy?
Without his daily hauls, I built his account is up to 11 bajillion. Nope, having a kid. The account just went the other way.
Dark Home, I talked to Jess's girlfriend last week. They're in the process of moving, and they have a baby due any time now. Well, guess what? Dark Convoy, I'm from over 20 years in the future, but I have news from about 10 days in the future in your era. Literally everyone's saying he's moving. Friggin' Nevermore coming in clutch. His last post was 2 days ago. Here's a link to it.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
You should reply in the thread now. just a so funny story with a link to a time. Well, you can't get a time code. Quite
Yeah, I
yet.
can't get a time code in there. Man, what would I even write in here? Hey,
Like I
y'all.
said, so funny story.
Super funny story. I'm gonna tag Aaron. Does that work on the boards? Does this do anything? No.
I'm not sure, and
Aaron, formerly username Axsmith.
yeah, go Aaron
I-
because I'm Aaron on the boards.
Oh right, it's at Aaron on here now. I was like at
Yeah.
Axsmith waiting for something to happen. There's still nothing happening. And oh, there you are. All right. Yeah.
YouTube video is like a minute behind. I'm just saying you starting to type.
We're just now streaming, reporting on some news from March 2006. I can confirm Chaos Muffin had a daughter within a week or two of this initial question. Congratulations, Chaos Muffin.
Evangelist mentioned you in a thread. Where is Chaos Muffin?
Some young mod is going to be really confused and probably angry. Some mod who wasn't born yet in 2006 is going to be like, what's the podcast guy doing? What the
I don't know why that just hit suddenly so hard. Oh, God. Oh, I should probably open up the mod form and see how quickly reports
Nearly
start coming in.
20-year-old necro posting for the B. I'm going to leave this alone now.
Oh.
It's fine. I get one. I get one every 20 years. That's my one. I've been saving it. What if people even talk about it? That's just people talk about Diaclone in there anyway. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah. They're all like 10,000 reply. The G.I. Joe thread is 10. Sorry, not 10,000. 103,931 replies.
Start a new one! Just start a new one!
DC figure threads is 44,000.
So do those... on the G.I. Joe thread, what is the date on the opening post on that one? Because you know what? I'm not necro posting anymore.
July 10th, 2009.
Okay, what did I do that any of these other threads aren't already doing? Nothing. I'm innocent. Anyway. Transformers movie filming to begin on May 22nd, 2006? So apparently Don Murphy posted just those words on his message board.
No, that was actually the appointment for his colonoscopy.
Oh, right, yeah. Yeah, it would be great if Lily Chaos Muffin just, like, joined the chat now, or, yeah, if the post gets deleted by Lily Chaos Muffin moderator.
I will undelete that sumbitch.
Yeah, I got a mod in my pocket. For this one bit.
Look, you left super mod powers on me for whatever reason. You will rue the day you left me with that power.
Also, like, specifically, delete every other reply to that thread that ever comes in from now on. Yeah, Diaclone reboot thread, 64,700 replies, and if you ask a question, there's a non-zero chance someone says, oh, just search the thread for it.
Yeah.
That's the part where I'm like, I get it, but also, I think it's kind of comical to tell someone to search 64,500 replies for something.
Especially when it's something like, I think I remember something about, you know, DA 17 having something happen. Not even one of the big hitters. One of the like median, intermediate things. Oh yeah, just go back and look in the mid thousands.
Yeah.
Like mid thousands as in 1,000 or mid thousand as in 5,000.
Verspringen, far be it from me to live in anything but the most glass of houses. Of course I did it too. But I was just trying to fit in with the locals, you know. I wanna be camouflaged. Is Lily Chaos Muffin streaming? Should we raid? I mean, we'll find out. The team is at work now. We're figuring this out.
Oma, why baby pictures got posted? Because like back in the day, this was your like a small subreddit type of thing. You know, there were, before the movie stuff kicked off real hard, there were maybe like 700 people on the boards in a day. And, you know, you had your 4 or 5 forums that you were big in and your threads that you were big in, you know, sitting there, you know, somebody hadn't posted in a couple days. That's why that one exists in Toy Arc that would never go through today, because there was not, you know, there wasn't nearly that number of people online. It was a much different beast. And so this was somebody sharing their joy.
If the question is the all caps question, then I'll just request that you drop it, because that's too close to just like obvious baits. Like, I kind of get what you mean, but there's no fruitful conversation to have on that specific post, so like kindly stop it. There's no point. Anyway. Chaos Muffin is also in the very next news item that I saw after I skipped over the Alternators Optimus Prime with motto, etc., because I missed it. We can go find Alternators Optimus Prime's motto. I got a feeling I know what it is. I can't read it, but it looks like okay, never mind. The defense. I can't read the rest. Aaron, can you read that?
Of something. No, Alternators Optimus Prime.
Oh, they wrote it right here. The defense of freedom requires the dedication of the mighty.
Lame.
I liked it better when he said convert and roll out. Anyway, Chaos Muffin, once again on the front page, between Chaos Muffin and Soundwave.ca, 2 very active users. We got more toy galleries that I assume are buried in the gallery system. I assume.
So it could probably find them again. So like, what is the Cybertron Thunderblast? So like the new thing, I can come here and find, yeah, here's Cybertron Autobot, and it's a bunch of photos. So, well, no, what did I say? Thunderblast. That's a Decepticon, not an Autobot. Come on, Aaron. So, no, she's not in there. So maybe not even those came over.
All right. Well, once upon a time, there was a whole collection of pretty cool toy galleries here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there still is. It's now reflector.wtf or reflector.tfw2005.com takes you to the toy gallery, and you know, we have ways to submit to add to this if you'd like to. Yeah.
All right.
I'm just clicking through, and it's there are general guidelines of like, hey, stuff that you should include. You know, it should be a solid color background, blah 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 blah. Yeah.
Well, in the meantime, I got some hot masterpiece news for you. Fit for Natalie has pointed out that there appears to be a very interesting post on the message boards at Toys Daily, and if you look at these pictures, it looks like it could be design sketches for a masterpiece, maybe Starscream, to bring the masterpiece collection back after a little bit of time away. Take this with a grain of salt for now, until we know more information, but this is potentially very exciting, and fits with Takara Tomi's plan of targeting the adult collector market, something that they would only do through the means of masterpiece Transformers in the year 2006. Along with kissing, we got new Cybertron Menasor images. I remember this montage, because I remember thinking it was super neat that the little dude, like, fit like a glove inside the chest cavity.
Yeah. And of course, here's the code inside of the Cyberplanet key so that you can go to the website and get the whatever out of it. What was it? Be like backgrounds or... Oh, I'm trying to remember all the various nonsense bonuses that you got when you put that code in.
Was it
like some game? There was some game or something.
Yeah, I don't think I ever really used that thing much. I always assumed it was just like tech specky stuff.
Yeah, it was digital trash. Like,
yeah.
Not trash, but like
landfill.
Yeah.
We got a Radicons Kit Bash Gallery update. So what was the thumbnail? It was an alternator Stunticon. That was in vogue, I remember.
I remember a lot of people turning alternators into, like, trying to find a way to turn them into combiner limbs.
Yeah.
And then Unicron hips for the torso, because, hey, Unicron hips.
Well, shouts out to the shouted out board members, Matt Armstrong, Redline, Sound Warp, Laseric, Oru Druin, and Jen Magnus. Do those cyber key codes mean anything to the resale value for Cybertron toys? If they're not there, that usually means the key was from Galaxy Force, which, like, hypothetically makes the key more valuable, because then it's a Force chip. But I guess also someone could have just, like,
scratched
off the code or melted it off. So, I mean, hypothetically, right? If someone removed the code, that would hypothetically devalue the cyber key because it had something stock removed from it. But then the question is, does anyone care when they inspect those toys? In most cases, I kind of assume no. But I anticipate that...
Like, toyetically, that key activates some gimmick upon the toy. So you'd want to have a key. I remember in buy-sell trade stuff at that time, you wanted to make sure that you had the code that matched it, because you'd have, all the planet keys were silver unless it was the leader of the planet, in which case it was the gold key. So if you had two Decepticons from the giant planet, then they'd have the same purple key, whatever, and it would just be the US 4R on the back of Menasor that means that that's his key. But if there was another one, it'd be a different one.
Yeah. So, hypothetically, that means there are, in the US releases, you can tell, who the key was meant to go with. But when it comes to, loose Cybertron toys, I don't know if that recently retro toy line has a collector base that cares enough about, the codes matching. I just genuinely don't know, because I haven't really messed with that aftermarket in so long. But that's, it's a worthwhile question to ask the people who are on the lookout for that stuff. I'd say, yeah, if you're considering selling some stuff, I would probably want to try to match up the key codes with the right characters if possible.
Yeah, that's definitely hey, take a moment type of thing.
Yeah. Because also then down the line, you're not left with, like, a random key that has, like, U712 or something, like, written on the back, going, like, oh, what's this for? And then you're like, I want to sell, specifically, the key with this code on the back. That'll make one person very happy, probably, but it probably is also a bunch of bother for you. Yeah, like, hypothetically, one would assume there are completionists now that are like, particular about that stuff matching. I can't say off the top of my head if I've encountered any myself. I do know some folks who are tracking down on a retro level Unicron trilogy, but usually they seem to be looking more so for, like, box stuff, so I'm not sure. Oh yeah, if TF Wiki has the codes on their pages, then, like, yeah, that's... At least it's all the info is available. Black alternator Dodge Ram pickup truck named Tren... Sorry. I know why this would have happened. Is it true that the black repaint of Alternator's Optimus Prime could be called Trenemesis Prime? Or is this a placeholder for Transformers Nemesis Prime?
Yeah. I always love those things. It's like, come on, Colin, you know what that answer actually is. Come on. What are you doing? What are you doing?
But this means we can have a whole day of message board discourse of people going like, Trinemesis! What a... I wonder what the canon implications are.
Probably
okay.
Hasbro lost Nemesis as a thing.
This Universe Menasor, I believe, is the thing that the 2026 BotCon YOLO Park 2-pack is referencing. It's the unreleased Universe Menasor, and they're using, I think, TF1 Orion packs, I think, for the body for that. And I can't remember what body, but they're using some body, and they've made it look like Universe Menasor-y. And here's the connective tissue. Back in March 2006, Iacon 1 updated their data track section with the proper matching artwork. Does Iacon1.com still exist?
Yes.
Well, there you
Kind
go.
of.
The direct link, at least, goes to the thing I wanted.
The direct link goes to July 26th.
Well, this is the artwork in question.
Yeah, the front page of the website is last updated for July 2006.
Oh boy. Iacon 1 was a show? Like a convention?
They had a convention at the Grand Wayne Convention Center in Fort Wayne, Indiana, where apparently there's a whole lot more conventions than even me as somebody somewhat nearby in Indiana.
Did we find another...
happening.
Is there a gig board? Hang on.
Maybe.
Is there a contact? Hang on, I want to contact y'all. Subscribe to bookmark our RSS XML newsfeed. That's data tracks. Store coming soon. Okay, Golden Disc Awards. There's no form. I can't contact any... Oh, here we go. Contact. Okay. The forms.netsuite.com URL in question has been disabled. Unfortunately. Damn, we were like this close to having like a new internet ghost to poke. What are these links? Guests. Look at baby David Sobolov. Man. All right. I didn't know this was a convention. I must have seen a post about this somewhere and then just like forgot about it. Maybe in July we'll come up to the news about this in the news dive eventually.
Yeah, maybe. it very much feels like a one and done show, maybe.
Yeah, that's what I would assume. But it's cool that the website is still floating there.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, Collectors Club reminder, don't forget, Wednesday the 15th is the deadline for having an active membership in the club to get this year's Land Quake sent to you for free. Please post this on all the borads and remind all your friends. We anticipate the figure shipping in May. There is a radio button. Thanks for your support. Thanks, Brian. More Ian Bryce on the Don Murphy boards. Our previs supervisor is Steve Yamamoto, and he is awesome. Scott Farrar is the ILM VFX soup. There are 2 Jeff Manns. One is a production designer, and one is an ILM exec who used to be the model supervisor there. Other key crew, John Fraser, special effects, Allegra Clegg, production manager. Still interested in locations? If so, maybe I can narrow it down a bit. No cast set yet. Soon, though. Not accurate to say some faction of production wants Celeb Fest. Think everyone wants good actors first. If they are celebs too, that doesn't hurt. Yes, Deb Scott won an Oscar. For your information, John Fraser and Scott Farrar have also won one. I assume he was multi-quote replying to some people, but this just comes off like a really unhinged, quietly unhinged live journal post.
Yeah.
I specifically, knowing that Ian Bryce is British, decided to not add the British accent to his character voice. I decided to stay true to the vision. We're not retconning around here. Stormbringer, I believe, is that storm that is coming in 2006, by the way. That was teased earlier. TF Auctions 1-year anniversary. Do they still exist?
I don't think so.
Do not.
It becomes a live auctions thing and a whole bunch of like, do you really want to go to this website things popping up? So,
the sale of humans. Oh. Our arms don't articulate enough to look like clapping. That's a good solution. For Them Funny Robots number 95, When More Worlds Collide. Test shot image from P Prime of the Beast Wars 10th anniversary Megatron. So this is some of our first in-color looks at this, I believe. In-hand in-color, I should say. Dialing back a bit more. 2-packs, Wave 3 Unicron 2-packs released in Canada. Confirmation on Alternators Nemesis Prime. There will be a limited release of a black repaint to Alternators Optimus named Nemesis Prime. This is Hasbro exclusive, given more confirmation that Takara has canceled the release of Jinrai and Black Convoy Binaltech versions, for now at least. Whether Nemesis Prime will be released a la Swerve, a one-case assortment, or that's it, or mixed in as a variant a la Marvel Legends is unknown. And Marvel Legends has also been around since back then. Reissue G2 Optimus Laser Prime Battle Convoy is out in Japan. Out in Hong Kong, we've got Excellion. Got a review of Beast Wars The Gathering. Some more solicitations. Cybertron Prime is inbox picks with and without Unicron's head. I think I remembered... Hang on.
No, because it was the very first wave of them in the U.S. had the head. That was the thing that was early on that
Unicron head included.
We had to keep private until Hasbro released it, or whatever. But yeah, and I remember there being people upset that like their release, like they never got the Unicron head.
Yeah, because this eventually came out without that head there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I still have the Omega lock, with all the gold force chips in it. We got a repaint of Cybertron Optimus Prime coming. What a weird... I just saw that thing sell for like $200 some at a toy show. Here's a Canadian release. Canadian Super Megatron writing the word Canadia wins again. Thanks so much. Brian Savage has issued a statement. The club registration has been extended till Friday. That's tomorrow. I wonder what predicated that. I genuinely don't remember.
Fax machine is probably down.
Yeah, they got a bonus day.
Somebody did the like tape a long piece of black construction paper to itself, run it through like that.
Just killed the. I was gonna say the ink strip. That wasn't an ink strip in those things.
The toner.
The toner. For VH1's I Love Toys, they had 38 Hasbro toys. I don't remember what this show is. However, Neo G1 Astro Train revealed. All right, this was big news. We got our first look at a Neo G1 Astro Train.
Mm-hmm.
Note how everyone was cooler back then and using Neo as the prefix. Much better days than when everyone started making this weird grunting noise. But yeah, I remember this was big. This was also big, huge news. I remember this angle on this photo. It's activating a neuron.
Yeah. Man, those like resin. It's the end of that era, or we're coming into the end of that era, I think.
Yeah. Long message board discussions like, how's this thing going to transform? Does it have both modes? It must. Look, there's train windows and wings. So yeah, for some of you,
some of those MS Paint. These two parts come together as the nose. But that's got a different nose here. So that clearly means that. And
for some of y'all, you might not have like been using message boards or the like back then to have seen some of the Neo G1 hype talk that I can't even remember anymore because the movies kind of wiped out parts of my memory, because those became their own louder hype talk. But I distinctly recall lots of excited message board posting and staring at gray proto images or gray test shot images. For spring, and I was 10, D. That's adorable. But yeah, will some of you are like, that was my first, I had that when I was a kid. That was my first Generations figure. It's like, we were all fighting about this on a message board as legal adults.
Yeah.
We also got, this is big old prototype day. The Unicron tank. We're just talking about that. Yeah, no, I just found this in a Walmart when I was 10-ish and was thrilled there was a train transformer. Short round. Popping in there. I wonder if anyone scooped up these resins. Oh yeah, this was on the. Sorry, it was. No, these weren't. Were these all from the same source?
I'd have to assume so because it's all the same day.
Because this is the Beast Wars Neo Unicron prototype was from the Publication of Registered Design Database. So I guess this must be where this all was coming from.
What it was.
Yeah.
Was some copyright protection thing, and somebody found out the right way to find, old Takara listings or something.
I have a vague memory of having some kind of copyright or whatever database open in a window for a while.
Oh yeah, Guide to Viewing Resin Protos via Japanese Patent Office.
Oh.
Only we scrolled up a few more, but you have another Ian Bryce.
Oh yeah, here we
update.
go. We'll try to answer a few things. Number of robot designs. How many do you think there will be? Don't think we will be leaking designs. Animatronic versus CG. Large-scale animatronics are hard to pull off. Expensive and difficult to operate. We've identified several pieces we will build and investigating something full-size. Face and mouth design's very important to us. Been working on that as ILM begins body modeling. Location semifinalists: California, Nevada, Arizona, New Mexico, DC, Florida, New York, Massachusetts, Illinois, Michigan, Texas, Alaska, and Canada. Vehicle inventory growing fast. Casting will continue into shooting depending on the actors' schedules. Hopefully the main human parts will be complete in the next 4 to 6 weeks, but it invariably takes a while. In response to a question about using glowing lights in the mouse to signify speaking for the Transformers, Ian responded, "You're right. Glorified, light-up mouth thingy, not what's planned." What does that mean? So I have to assume
I think, like,
someone asked about Wheeljack. I have to assume.
yeah, I was gonna say, like, hey, well, we know they're talking because it's Wheeljack, because people are stuck in G1 animation brain, and you get a mask flapping to know that somebody's talking versus. Yeah.
I wonder if the something full size was just the Iceman Megatron. That kind of ties together with that little loop.
Yeah.
But yeah, you said the guide to viewing resin protos via Japanese patent office. That must have been what I was thinking of. I wonder if all of these are still viewable there, or if people like have pillaged and archived all these in a nice organized way somewhere.
I'm sure they're probably still available, like at the Japanese patent office.
Like,
I don't know why that system would
slam the door closed. Like we're not built for this much traffic.
Actually, some old grandpa in a dusty basement in Tokyo, all of a sudden wondering why he has to go pull all these files out of a file cabinet.
Yeah, there was actually a guy on the other end.
Camera.
Every time we did a request, there was a human going, "Okay." This is us learning there's storage space for the hands and a size comparison with world's smallest side swipe for THS-02 Optimus. 3-inch War Within Titanium's Prime on eBay. This guy's also having a good day. He's just dancing. Target Transformers end cap officially starts today. So this is what a Target end cap looked like 20 years ago. Interesting, because I remember 20 years ago you'd see photos of what a toy shelf looked like in 1984, and people would have a reaction to that, and I'm curious if people now have a reaction to this, a different 2 decades removed, what a toy shelf would look like.
So less than the price of a current deluxe, you get 2 packs, or I guess at that point, yeah, those were Voyagers. With bonus 3 mini-cons, or 2 mini-cons? 2 mini-con packs, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know if these were Ultras or if they'd gone over to the Voyager name yet.
I think that the Universe 2-packs on the top were supposed to be Ultras. Like, they were, like, treated as Ultra boxes. Oh, yeah, for spring, the inflation thing came up pretty quickly early on. There's inflation, and then there's also the part, which actually I said this before too, but like there's inflation, which is just the raw inflation of the currency, and then there's also the disparity of like wages not going up whilst the cost of everything else has gone up, etc., etc. Which I'm actually unsure and ignorant as to whether that is just considered to be part of one of the bristles of the brush of inflation. Why are all the prices just slapped onto a sign in the middle of the shelf, obfuscating some of the product? Look, and the end cap ain't gonna build itself, you know. Like someone has to to get all that stuff in there. We got images. Is this EasyNet again? Yeah, we got EasyNet images of a reissue from the book style collection. Yeah, inflation is gonna come up pretty commonly when it comes to especially seeing old shelves. I mean, inflation comes up when talking about prices from 10 years ago now, because everything, you know, got worse as far as purchasing hobby toy products in domestic shelves for North Americans. This is the second Sinotron event. Chinese Transformers Convention held March 18th through the 23rd in Beijing. Once again, someone is also going to say, yes, do not Google. Well, last time someone said Google Transformers inflation, so this time someone said do not Google Transformers inflation. So some folks get the surprise, some folks don't. This is an alternator's hound that's kit bashed with, like, I'm guessing other truck parts. Is there, like, a name on this thumbnail?
That looks like a paint job, maybe?
Yeah, is that the front bumper that toy had, or is that slightly different?
I don't
Maybe
think that's the
it's-
front bumper, and that's also don't think he had that like light lit up, the light bar.
Yeah, because there's like weathering and
light
stuff on
bar.
it too.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool. Just wait for when Gen Alpha's... I mean, yeah, there's people nostalgic for 2000... Well, there's people's nostalgic for, like, 2015 right now, I think. Nostalgia waves will always happen. Sometimes the things they're nostalgic for, I think the scopes will widen and squeeze depending on the era. Here now we can see this without the Photoshop black marks. It is Starscream! There's even a crown! So this was included with THS-02 Convoy. Is this real? Are we getting a Masterpiece Starscream figure? Unused G1 Design Galleries Unicron Jet Power Master Prime. I don't think those are... Okay, those are not all the words that are supposed to be going together. All right, I was going to say.
Unicron, Jet Power Master Optimus Prime.
The Unicron Jet Power Master Prime. I think I've seen this picture somewhere else before.
Yeah.
This looks familiar. But yeah, this is now the European patent search. This is when we all, well, I guess Might Gain had a hand in this too, but like this is user Might Gain. This is when the community was starting to dig around in patent office websites looking for Transformers.
Mm-hmm.
Japan Times online article featuring Transformers. An interview with Kojin Ono and Hideaki Yoke. Does this link work?
It takes you to japantimes.co.j.
Oh. Oh. Sorry, just seeing a 3D printed hand for Savage Claw mode, which was lost to Shapeways, it sounds like. That's unfortunate. I remember
Although,
when...
if you go there and then search, I'm not going to buy your premium access. That link is still live. There is still an article. Eep-dop blorp.
Huh.
Toys that transform the world's way of play.
That thumbnail looks super familiar. Okay, hi Cloud Flare. By Martin Webb. Look at that. Oh, I see what you mean. I'm not even getting the pop-up. I can't make this go away. Oh my god. Hang on. What if I do this and hit stop?
It was a big overload thing, and then hey, buy our stuff. Okay. What is it with Japan and robots? For whatever reason, they have been an integral part of the national psyche for decades. While Toyota's automated production lines might be the first thing that springs to mind, robotic creatures from Astro Boy to Aibo have also become an integral part of the nation's identity. Back in the days before Made in Japan was the badge of distinction it is today, and Ten toys and die-cast figures were among the best-known exports. A team of robot-obsessed designers in a workshop in a rundown eastern Tokyo suburb came up with the most enduring manifestation of this powerful Japanese fantasy. What a run-on sentence.
Some of this
Their
stuff is
inventions,
amazing that this was written in
branded
2006.
as Transformers, the robots in disguise, became arguably the world's most successful action toy lines ever, with over 300 million units shipped since their launch in 1984. Those shape-shifting automatons are regarded as the boys' equivalent of Barbie. In the 1980s, no self-respecting preteen was without one, and the manufacturer Takara Tomy, formerly Takara, not even doing the intercaps on the Tomy, that's a disservice, still ships an average of 1 million units per year in Japan and 5 million internationally through Hasbro, its long-standing partner. The idea of a vehicle transforming into a humanoid robot was first realized in 1980 with the release of the Lamborghini Countach, sports car model that turned into a menacing mech warrior. The Pioneer toy line in Takara's Diaclone series, that car warrior combo would later reappear in the Transformers series as Autobot stalwarts Sunstreaker, after Hasbro executives saw the potential of the series and offered to team up with Takara on a worldwide launch. Yeah, and it goes on.
Finding a balanced menacing mech.
Yeah.
Menacing mech warrior. This is interesting to see, like, from 20 years ago, saying, you know, the two ways to play thing that come up at a lot of BotCon panels. Finding the balance. This is before 2009. Yeah, it takes over 2 years, hundreds of man-hours to progress one model from the drawing board to toy store shelves. Which I believe at that point we had also already heard from Aaron Archer at BotCon panels.
Mm-hmm.
Countless parents whose children have spent hours figuring out how to transform their newly acquired companions can thank these talented Tokyo obsessives for all those precious moments of peace and quiet that the shape-shifting hulks provide. Brother!
Yeah. First off, if your kid's taken that long to learn how to do it.
Some of the wordplay in this, like, the wordplay, it's not that the wordplay is like, wow, how dare you wordplay. It's half the time this wordplay hits the mark, but then the dude's like, I got 4 more in the chamber, and it's like, yeah, but the target's gone. You save them. No! Okay, yeah. Well.
I'm trying to remember, like, as these kids grow up, some of them move on to competitive transforming against the clock at events regularly held at toy fairs all over the world. I think I remember one show
BotCon
that had that, and it had, like, what was it, like MP01 and a deluxe, and then there was, like, the kids league with like a go bot or some nonsense. Like,
it's a wild overstatement of
yeah. This is a dude that was given an assignment and was like, I'm getting paid by the word.
Well, he used the word metamorphoses, and you don't often get to see people using the plural for that.
Yeah.
Among the particularly ingenious metamorphoses created by the Takara team have been a cassette recorder that turned into a rocket-toting bad guy and Astro Train, a triple changer that turned from a space shuttle into a train and then into a sword-wielding robot warrior.
Yeah.
Although the series' fortunes have waned in recent years, as toys have gone even more high-tech in the computer age. It's so weird to read from 2006.
Yeah.
Soon enough, a whole new generation of kids is going to be inducted into the world of the courageous Autobots and dastardly Decepticons, a live-action movie backed by Steven Spielberg, hit with scheduled for Pearl Harbor fame. Tom DeSanto has... Even though they're robots, the characters have a lot of personality and a lot of heart, and people still care about them. That is the beauty of the series, and besides, the samurai helmets and kabuki-style scowling faces seen on many of the designs, brother. It continues to mean that as far as their young owners are concerned, these toys are regarded almost as thinking and feeling, being... What? That is a weird paragraph. This whole paragraph did not need to be written. That was a... Freedom is the right of all sentient beings is the famed motto of superstar Transformer Optimus Prime, the implication being that, in a very Japanese animist conception, even robots have a spirit and deserve freedom too.
Sure.
Who wrote this again? What's this guy's name? Martin Webb.
Martin Webb.
Is he still alive? Designer Ono said that his generation grew up with robots. It is part of their cultural heritage. It's part of a sense of our sense of character, referring to his homeland's obsession with manga and anime heroes and heroines. Such anthropological musings were echoed by Yoke, who said he believed that this kind of mythology is less likely to emerge from Judeo-Christian culture. For us, he said, these guys become human. We project ourselves onto them. Our frailties and strengths, they act as our representatives in a fantasy world. Did Martin Webb time travel and use ChatGPT to write this in the past? Asks Long was here. No, this is a guy very much paid by the word. Yes, to the question, I would agree. This is fairly Orientalist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and maybe some of this with the extra M dashes in there is what was fed into LLMs.
This was some of the root material. Yeah, this is it's not just like whatever, right? Go a little wacky with the writing. This is there's parts of this, especially it's really the kabuki helmet, the samurai helmet kabuki style scowling faces bit where it's kind of like, okay. And I'm noticing that the part about this kind of mythology being less likely to emerge from Judeo-Christian culture is not part of the quoted words of either of the folks from Takara. It's a fascinating way to have taken that, unless something was said outside of the quotes, in which case, mea culpa. I need to remember that phrasing. I need to deploy that phrasing somewhere really ill-fittingly. Something less likely to emerge from Judeo-Christian culture with regard to toy stuff.
Yeah.
The work of God Brave Studio, you can hear it in their name, God Brave Studio. Very unlikely to have work like that emerge from a Judeo-Christian culture.
Now I'm suddenly remembering what year was that where there was somebody that was selling the transforming Jesus Christ on a cross?
Well, no, that was a design by our good pal. Just flew out of my head because my brain's currently full of this article. Designed the Fans Project Headmasters, Jizai Toys. That was a Jizai Toys original that was co-opted and then bootlegged in 3D print. So I don't remember seeing one in physical at a show that someone was selling, but there's a good chance because the thing did get bootlegged to hell.
Yeah, I remember seeing it. I don't know if it was for sale. I remember seeing it at a booth.
Yeah,
like on a corner display in a plastic, in like a cabinet or something.
Yeah, Jizai had put up a GIF of how the CAD worked, and I believe that there was several backwards engineering efforts off of that, but there was one that was rushed to maybe even shapeways. Now I can't remember if that lines up arrow-wise. Yeah, Jizai Toys designs are really neat. The Judeo-Christian culture is not one that would bring forth something like the Transformers, these mechanical, menacing mecha warriors with their kabuto scowls and samurai hats.
Yeah.
Yeah, Transformers animated, and it's Judeo-Christian animation style. Alright, where was there's a repugnance gallery. That feels wildly less important now. Aaron, are you good to go until the top of the hour, by the way?
I'm probably getting close to gassing out here.
Alright, we'll take it till top of the hour, see where we're at, and then book it there.
Yeah, I'll call it at top of hour so that I can actually get some sleep. So.
Yeah. We got THS Hybrid G1 Convoy hitting Singapore. So this toy is coming out now. Alright, where was I? Here we go. There is an MPO3 Masterpiece Starscream pre-order at Big Bad Toy Store. But I think they just put one up because the thing was found in the back of an instruction book. So I don't think that was built on anything like solid. Transformers the movie playing at Clinton Street Theater in Portland, Oregon for 1 week. That was big news back then to catch that thing on a big screen.
Like a handful of, I say handful, there were a few copies of the film that would go around because I remember the old one-screen theater in my hometown aired it at one point in time, and I was like one of 3 people that were in there, and it was like, hey, we got a hold of it, so away we go.
So I was also catching, this was the Japanese release and confirmation of MP Starscream of Hybrid G1 Convoy, who I always, whenever I see this toy, I then suddenly remember that this thing randomly came out again under a Year of the Horse, I think. Just a few years back. Well, few. In recent-ish decade memory. That mold just erupted back to life out of nowhere. See, high res, stock photos of stuff. Glue to develop Transformers mobile content. Thanks to Lumpy for bringing this to our attention. Hasbro's global licensing of mobile entertainment to Glue. This includes mobile gaming and mobile phones that will be tied in with the live-action movie. I don't know what Glue is.
It was a company. I remember 'cause I had a flip phone that had like, because it was like a turn-based tactical game.
Oh, I vaguely recall this. Oh, Griff, thank you. As Year of the Rooster that had the THS convoy suddenly in Toys R Us's and stuff. Sad news, on March 22nd, 2006, Bob Pappenbrook, voice actor who did Mega Octane and Ruination, among others, passed away at the age of 51. He was also a 10 years long martial artist. Dang. Glue is the guy from those Minions movies. Obvs. Got me. THS-02 hybrid-style G1 convoy shortage! Pre-orders being cancelled! Sorry I had to do it, says JRS Toy World. My vendor cut my order by 66%, so I had to divvy out stock I'm receiving based on the order. Customers pre-ordered the item. I was emailed today by Joel at BBTS looking for stock to purchase, as he's in the same boat. The demand in Japan is off the scale for this item. As all the backup vendors I contacted just told me there's no chance you can get any, or even be restocking it. Hopefully they'll do another production run. I did not remember this happening at all. I bought one from Ultra Action Toys in BC way back, if I recall correctly. This picture. Transformers Cybertron cartoon removed in the UK. Here is a photo of the United Kingdom flag at half-mast. Did you feature that Optimus in your Dragon Zord video? I think that was the Optimus in the Dragon Zord video, yeah. Because I wanted a little one. New desktop wallpapers and new Alphie's Oddities. RID party lights, a G1 wallet, and Bumblebee birthday card. Toronto Transformers Con exclusive Stealth Cyclonus bust. I remember this bust being around for a while.
Yes.
And
limited to 100 pieces.
Limited to 100 pieces. And also was around for a while.
Yeah. This is the tail end of the bust era.
Yeah. One could say this is where the bust ceiling busted. Got a Toys R Us exclusive Hot Rodimus. Oh, this is a world's smallest. An extremely small transformation Hot Rodimus in a tiny box.
Hey, speaking of busts, more busts.
First for Figures announcing more busts. Does this look real? That looks like a screenshot of the show.
Oh yeah, maybe.
Not to, I'm not to be picky. Maybe that's just how they were concepting it, but Red Powerlink's thrust shows up in the UK. Oh damn, this thing. The long saga of this guy. It's 5 pounds. Yeah, previously that figure only available in Japan with some sightings in Israel, Italy, Portugal, and Australia. One of the strangest Armada toys. Yeah,
it's like what was that, like the 8-language packaging on it or whatever?
Yeah. Alternators Optimus officially out in Hong Kong. Minicons are out. 20th Anniversary Prime UK reissue is going to have new packaging, according to a newsletter. Yeah, I seen the alternate chat. I was about to say, was it this one? Or is this the funny one with all the smudges? I never owned this version of the toy. I had an MP1 from Takara. Vote for the next featured collection. Station 4. Is this our first look at Sound Blaster, or did we see him before? Anyway, that's the advertisement for Sound Blaster. Alphie Optimus. All right, casting information. Wait, what's this? Being cast for a movie called Prime Directive, to be directed by Michael Bay. His character names may not be final. Sam, teenage male, somewhat nerdy, but ultimately heroic. Miguela Barnes, teenage female, Sam's love interest. Captain William Lennox, 30s male, leader of the military.
The whole military. All the military.
Leader of
Captain William.
The entire military. Maggie, female, really hot, really smart. Works as a code breaker for the government. What a freaking casting. What are the characteristics? Maggie, what's the characteristics of Maggie as a character? Really hot, female, really hot, really smart. John Keller, 50s, 60s male, U.S. Secretary of State. Glenn Whitman, 20s male, techno-geek, comic relief. We've also been told that Shia LaBeouf has been cast in the role of Sam. With the recent rumor regarding Shia LaBeouf's casting in another Michael Bay film, draw your own conclusions. Think Blue Harvest. The names aren't that hard to decipher. Listen, Captain William Lennox, leader of the military, could be anybody, alright? Beast Wars voice actors to attend MechaCon in Lafayette, Louisiana. Exilion and Override GTS are out of U.S. retail. Just curious how close we are to the end of them. We're getting very close. Okay. Hartmans G2 Stunticons and Protectobots for auction. Oh, Aaron, this might be a great stopper actually. Because was this the first time they were selling some of their stuff like this, or did they do that in 04?
Time frame. I think that they did not in 04.
Okay.
Because in 04, that was the West Coast Renegade show, and the collection that was there was Tony Prito's collection.
Right.
That was the biggest open collection, whereas the Hartmans had the most complete sealed U.S. collection. Like, everybody had the biggest collection by whatever metric they picked. I have the biggest collection in the world that is inside of my house.
True.
Nobody else's collection in the world is bigger and inside my house. So my collection is the largest collection. Not necessarily saying to talk trash on anybody, but that was
hey, listen, you got me. You got me.
But yeah, I think this might have been when they were starting to sell off some of their things, because I want to say it was was it 10 or 11? It was like a later BotCon where they had, here's everything, we're just selling everything off.
Yeah, no, that was later.
Yeah.
I think I was at that one. So that would have been before 2015. I can't remember which one it was. I'm trying to remember now if these were... 'cause this is a conversation I was having with someone else. The first person to take, all sides photos of some of the G2 Protectobots and Stunticons was TransFan2, if I recall correctly. Mm-hmm. But I don't remember if TransFan2 had bought these ones or different ones.
Yeah, I can't remember what that time frame was, because...
Yeah.
So, the Hartmans ended up with full sets of the Protectobots and Stunticons, because when they were having the first BotCon, Hasbro sent them samples to say, hey, we could make one of these for you. Tell us which one you like. and that's where G2 Breakdown came from. And they were like,
Mhm.
hey, let's do this one. So then they produced a bunch of just G2 Breakdown. But there were other sets of the carded G2 Protectobots and Stunticons that were out there from whatever. I think a small production run of the 8 of them were made, and some of it was coming from that, and some of them were just like Hasbro designer had like walked home with a box or something, you know, and then they floated out, because that was, I want to say that was the one that showed up later that is probably the set that ended up getting the full photo experience, because I don't know if the Hartmans had the leaders or not.
Yeah, 'cause-
in the early BotCon produced stuff.
Because TransFan 2 had gotten the full sets, and I want to say that like even like people like the Hartmans were like, "Yo, make take some pictures of those."
Yeah. Yeah, because I want to say there was like only one Minosaur that had all G2 colored combiner parts.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was another one that was like half G2 colored parts, half G1 parts.
Yeah, and there was some deco stuff I remember from the TransFan 2 photo shoot specifically. There were angles that had never been seen that people were desperate to get photos of to know what the deco looked like from those angles. Anyway, yeah, this is just connecting in my head because I was just recently talking to someone who had told me that they've in the last couple of years been to TransFan 2's store that still exists apparently. Is the Lookin' Shop, and I was like, that still exists. That's TransFan 2. That's the person who did the first full round photos of some of the G2 combiners. I was having a whole moment.
Yeah, because I think, was it Hotspot that like nobody had seen the G2 torso, like the G2 parts of for ever.
I think so. I think with Motormaster, it was also the side of the trailer, a clear shot of it was desperately hoped for, because, like, we always had the angle photo, and, like, what I remember is the angle of the known photo made it hard to tell what the side of the trailer looked like, due to the, you know, the camera flash, glare off lights and whatever. People were like, if we just get a profile shot of the trailer to know what was there or something. Like, this is, I'm like, this is going off like very vague recollections now.
Yeah, the Transformers wiki has less than half dozen production samples of each mold known to exist. Save the BotCon 94 breakdown. Hotspot was to be released in a bright red and orange deco, but as no packaged final samples have surfaced, or only a look at the factory plate stickers he would have had. And so, yeah, the one that's the example doesn't look to have any stickers at all on him, and it's all very much early blurry photos.
Yeah, no, there had to have been. I forgot which one it was. I just remember there's a whole thing about like an angle. It was like Toy Lost Media getting found for one of the first times I recall it happening. Sorry, I just saw someone liked my post on the Toy Arc thread. Thank you, Marin. Thank you, Marin Dex. I have 4 likes now, actually. So just thank you, Marindex, Logos Minor, Mecha Doom, and Baltan. Anyway.
Yeah, this is one that I'm going to wake up in the middle of the night and remember some other small bit of.
Yeah.
Speaking of, it is the top of the hour, so.
Oh, it's a great one to stop on.
Yep.
The first Hartmans major auction I can remember, unless there's one from earlier that I've forgotten. So yeah, we're going to keep plugging away at this month because I don't know if we have it, but I submitted a panel for TFCon Toronto next month to do a news dive debrief. However, I will not be there for any of the scheduled time on Friday, so I don't know if like everything I submit is going to happen or not. So like, hey, whatever. We'll
Just gonna
sort it
be
out.
me up front. Hi guys. Chris isn't here because he had some card game thing to do. He thinks that's more important.
Yeah, for disclosure, Ultraman Day is on Friday, and I want to support good old EJ because EJ's trying his best. He's trying so hard. And on Ultraman Day at a downtown game store, Banana Games, we're having a big Ultraman card game set 8 release event. It's a sealed tourney just for fun, and then an airing officially with no ads of the first 2 episodes of Ultraman Teo. And that's probably running from about 6 p.m. till probably about 8:30 p.m. I'm going to try to head straight to the hotel afterwards, which is going to be messy on my side. But it means that I'm not doing any panels on Friday. I submitted the panels and I said in big bold letters, I was like, I will not physically be there until late at night on Friday. So I can't do anything on Friday. So however it fits together, please make it work. I may or may not have an Ultraman themed surprise at TFCon as well. You should come out and watch Teo so that I can split the rideshare with someone to go back afterwards. Anyway, I'm gonna flip back to Facecam. Aaron, thanks for joining me, and I'll talk to you again soon about more of the year 2006. We'll see how well we do trucking our way through.
Yeah, if we can stay regular, then we got a decent chance.
Yeah,
We got about a month and a half through tonight.
yeah, and I'm remembering. I'm getting all my old muscle memory back for these specific streams about like when it says solicitation, ignore it. When it says airing, ignore it. When it says cover, ignore it. Anyway, yeah, Aaron, you take care, have a good night, and then I'll close up around here. Don't worry about me.
All right, take care, everybody.
I wonder if it'll turn his Fugi off on him. It does. Okay, cool. He's not on the line anymore. Yeah, if I was gonna say, if anyone wants to go to the Ultraman thing on Friday, I don't want to like literally go like, heck with this convention, because whatever, you do what's most important to you. Part of the reason why I'm also attending the Ultraman thing is because Banana Games is extremely close to where I live, so it's not like I'm traveling all the way somewhere and then all the way somewhere else. But if you are interested in going, it's at 6 p.m. at Banana Games. It's a sealed event, so you are basically buying into a tournament where you get 4 booster packs of the brand new release that day set, BPO8. You open the 4 packs and you make a deck of 30 cards, and then that is what everyone is playing with, is they make a deck of 30 cards out of the, I forgot how many are in a pack now, but the 40-some, 50, I don't know, however, more than 30 that you pull out of the packs. You don't have to follow deck building guides or rules for like everything has to be, leveling on top of the same guys. Sealed in Ultraman card game has its own thing called the baton pass rule, where any level can sequentially level on top of any other level. But if it's not a matching character, you have to flip the card upside, or not upside down. You have to flip it face down, and you get a minus 1,000 to your battle points. I've done sealed once. I've done draft once. Both times it was pretty fun, and baton pass was a nice way to smooth out playing in those formats. And it is hella fast, especially in sealed. You're just like, all right, game 1, game 2. So if you are down for coming out for that, then by all means do, because if you come out for that, we're probably all going to ride share back afterwards. So, because I was going to say, usually, I would go to Union Station and take a Go bus to go to the TFCon hotel. Union Station is right next to where the FIFA games are happening. I don't think anyone should try to go near Union Station in the evening when the soccer FIFA games are happening. Now, I don't know if one's happening that Friday, however, it is a Friday night, right? So, I don't think it's a reasonable expectation to push through whatever that mess will be to get to the Go bus. So I'm just assuming rideshare. Banana Games is right next to a Mr. Tonkatsu. There's a lot of good places near Banana Games. There's also Kung Fu Tea, if you like bubble tea stuff, there's also the Kung Fu Tea. Also is somewhere that Nona Leah sells their various tiramisus through. There's a pretty good dumpling place there as well. That said, I'm not going to be eating there after the tournament. I'm going to be heading straight to the hotel afterwards because I check into my room on Friday. So, yeah, that's what's up on Friday out here. I will say this is late now, obviously, but if you are coming to TFCon Toronto and you actually want to see downtown Toronto, you will need to do that outside of your convention schedule because the convention is like an hour away from downtown. It's in Mississauga. So I try to give this preamble as much as possible. TFCon Toronto vets will know this now probably, but it's like you can't go to TFCon Toronto and then from the hotel go like, can I take a day trip to see the CN Tower between panels? Because it's like, no, you can take a day trip to see the CN Tower instead of the convention. So you might, I mean, it's too late now, but in future, you might want to book an extra day if possible, if that is something you want to do. Or, sacrifice, for instance, a Friday to be able to go around downtown. And then if you were to do that, why not stop by a game store where you can do some Ultraman card gaming? Oh, Monday is downtown Toronto. Okay, yeah. That sounds good. Hey, if you're heading downtown on Monday, I can ask you at the show. If you're going downtown on Monday, can I hitch a ride? Monday is drive back home day. I'm assuming you don't live in downtown Toronto, so I probably can't hitch a ride. Sport Peppers, I scheduled a day to get there early and leave a day later. Now I know that's clutch. Yeah. Unless you don't, if you've been to Toronto a whole bunch, then, whatever. But if you did want to do a little bit of sightseeing in actual Toronto, yeah, you should probably take a day for that. And, if you're watching this and you're not going to go and go on a robbery spree or something that could go onto my record, let me know. I might be free on Thursday or Monday. Monday I'm going to try to get back, but I might be free Thursday. I don't know if I am, but shoot me a message. Worst case, I'll be like, nah, I'm busy. But no, I'm in Ohio, the exact opposite direction. Such is the case. But yeah, that crept up on me. It was 2 weeks ago, I think, where I was someone was like, was it 2 weeks ago? No, 1 week ago. Let me check my date. 1 week ago, and someone's like, "Hey, TFCon's in like a month," and I was like, "No, it's not." And I was like, "Oh, it's mid-June. When did that happen?" And then I sent in my panel submissions. Accomplice and internet personality. Yeah, you got me. But yeah, that's going to be an interesting weekend. For those who aren't going to anything that weekend, if you end up wanting to poke around to see all the reports, bear in mind, that is also BotCon weekend. So there's going to be two completely different Transformers-oriented conventions worth of people posting and yelling at the same time, which I assume will be interesting to look at from afar. So see what happens there, right? Got to get my car ready for the trip. It has suddenly happened to be it's right. I was like, wait, I need to submit panels. Wait, I need to figure out who I did plan to meet up with in the preceding week. Yay, Rex Kaiser hostage weekend. You know what? I mean, hey, you save on shipping if you're there already, right? Also a slight, that's usually HasLab weekend too. That was Unicron HasLab weekend. That was goofy. But yeah, this crept up, and I didn't like the year is having its time dilations for me, definitely. But there were longer chunks of this year that weren't time dilating for me, so this one really took me by surprise. I was like, yo, what's happening? I need to figure out what kind of Godbrave studio piece I might have available to, because I want to partake in this. I got to figure out if I'm going to have a Godbrave studio piece to carry with me to the show, to wave at people, as several of my peers have done at TFCon LA. You know, having some kind of Godbray Studio piece to just like wiggle at somebody and go like, look at this, and then someone is like, oh, huh, it's a funny looking toy, and then they move one ratchet joint, and someone's like, where on G Market do I buy this? Cross his fingers on Rex Blade. Right. Do we have a date on Rex Blade and Wild King 2? Is that possibly pre-TFCon? Griff, you're bringing Grand Blue Leon? What if I bring the entire Dino Emperor? I mean, if you're able, just don't... I mean, you're driving, right? So it's not like you have to worry about the airline handling side of that kind of thing. I mean, whatever works for you. I mean, Aaron's not here anymore, but Aaron brought several Diaclone pieces one year on a drive, including Giant Robot Base. So it's been done. Probably use the trailer as a yeah. No. So Dino Emperor, I messed this up too. Dino Emperor's not the one with the giant trailer. It's just you would assume the one called Dino Emperor is the one with the giant trailer. I made that assumption too, and that made an ass of both you and me. Yeah, simply fly to Korea. Is it just pronounced Incheon? I've never been. Buy cardbot at airport, fly back. Yeah, simple. What's funny is I've now gotten the impression that I forgot their name now, just to go or something. Anyway, whoever's doing the cardbot distro in China, we're like, we can make the boxes bigger, because I think that their cardbot boxes are bigger than the Korean ones, and that's wild to me, because like all their boxes have like an extra liter class on either side of tray space. That's why all the AliExpress sellers are like, please buy without a box. Yeah, it's Dinoid Commander is the gigantic trailer that you can put an entire Commander class into. Incheon. Okay, thank you. I'm still... My Korean romanized pronunciations are still at the point where, like, I mix up how much vowelage I'm syllabalizing. These are real words. My Dino Emperor came with a Chinese instruction manual, so I'm very scared of the size of the original box it came in. Yeah, I don't know. It's just, from what I've gathered, having seen unboxings of Korean card bots and of some photos of the trays and boxes of Chinese card bots, if a Korean card bot was in a box like this, right, like my head, it's like they took another one of my head, split it in half, and stuck it on either side. It's just so they like the weapons are deployed and out to fill up that space, kind of. But it's like, but yeah, it would be the one thing I will say: if you are tempted to bring a Godbray Studio design piece to a convention at all, TFCon included, you do gotta be ready for every single person not in your immediate social circle to assume you bought it from a guy who's there who has more. So you gotta be ready to weather the question over and over again, I would assume, of where'd you buy tacky, who's selling tacky, which is funny because they'll look at your Dinoid Commander or your Dino Emperor, right? But they're still gonna be like, where'd you buy tacky and who's selling tacky. I forgot about the Studio Series Devastator suitcase. Take it easy, Simeon Scott. Godbray Studio and its Judeo-Christian origins. That's right. I gotta remember that author's name so I have something to cite. With their kabuki scowls. I'm not willing to brave this question for a card bot, but I may be willing to take it. If it's an auto trooper, then someone will assume you bought it there. If it's a transformer, someone assumes you bought it there, is what I generally have noticed. Thank you, Sports Peppers. Martin Webb of the World Wide Web. I mean, that's why he's so confident, right? This brings me back to an old in-joke about fans' project Code Virus. But yeah, I was like, cause I'm like, I want to figure out, like, what's the least fragile thing I can bring? Because the problem with me is my Godbraid Studio stuff right now is Great Firebird. And then, like, if it ever starts moving, if the curse of Dumb Jake and his demanifestation of my package ever is lifted, I should have a loose copy of the Heavy Iron W before TFCon. I was thinking that's the one I was thinking of bringing, because it's just big truck, and it's like a little guy, a little human-sized human guy. Once he's in robot mode, I can just perch him on my shoulder. Yeah, no, that Grandbird cracking was freak occurrence nonsense. Hopefully you can get a hold of another Grandbird down the line, because I mean the reissues should be the Canadian sites are still like they're touting the reissue, at least for Canadian distro and resellers, but people who sell it in Canada are all naming like sometime in the autumn this year for the reissue. Yeah, Kamen Rider W is weird. Kamen Rider W in the Korean series transforms into a truck with a dragon stuck through it. It's really weird. Oh yeah, I clicked a short, one of the official Cardbot shorts from the current run, because I saw Heavy Iron W in it, and I was like, maybe he finally got stock footage. And the thing was a dramaful scene that had the auto dub turned on. And let me tell you, with the metal Cardbot clips, when the auto dub turns on, you just hear the Korean under it because it's so affected, but the auto dub is still struggling to like voice print and speak the lines, and it was so cacophonous that I thought like another tab had opened with another video in it. And I spent like 10 seconds going like, what is the other tab with this English-speaking guy? Until the guy said Tyrant Zero. Then I was like, wait, what? It was very, very weird. What else is weird is I did eat something before the stream, but I still have to cook something tonight too. Which means if my calculations are correct, I should be hearing some kind of music right about now. Hey, thanks for checking out the stream. I forgot if I set this music to the right level for when I'm talking. Let's put it there. Okay. Ha ha ha. I will catch you all later. I still have toys to open too. I've just been going through it a bit. I got back from my trip, and then my Cortex turned on me, but I've started wrestling it back into submission. I'm giving it the Fujiwara armbar. So I do have some box shred streaming to do as well, which should be a fun, chill time. I don't know when I'm going to do it, but I'm going to mix it in around all the card gamings and productivities I want to do. But also, we're going to try to, at least once a week, keep the train going to pummel our way through the year 2006 with the Retro News Dive. We've always got some kind of weekend marathon we could do if it comes down to it. But yes, in the meantime, do take care, stay safe out there. If you're in America, do bear in mind that apparently if you hold both, if you have an iPhone, if you hold the power button and the volume up button together, for about 3 seconds. You turn off biometric, and you have to punch in a password to open your phone. But if that's too much to remember, you're in, say, just a bit of a pinch. You can also hold just the power lock button down, I believe, for 5 seconds on iOS, and that will also turn off the biometrics so that you would need to put in a key code to open your phone. There are several ways to do this on Android as well. Apparently it varies depending on your operating system version, so you might want to look that up if you're in the States. But otherwise, do take care, stay safe, and I will see you later. I forgot where my scene is. I found it. Now I will really see you later.
Let them come.